Okay, we're back to another life and suffering of Sir Brante. So what happened in the last stream is that we uh basically started our our path as priests, well, in a sense, insert the Inquisitors, okay? And what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to weed out the new faith, basically, like, to believe the people who believe that people have their own right to choose their own lots. Okay, remember the three lots are the nobleman, the lotless, and the priest. So, as it's basically saying that if you are assigned a lot, that's a lot for your entire life. You do not deserve to move away from your lot. Okay, and we've been told since we were young by our mother that by Lydia, our mother, the fact that we cannot leave our lot because, like, because most of them, they are commoners. Okay, the commoners lot, they are basically what they're supposed to do is just suffer and work your whole life. But since but I don't want to go for that. Okay, I want to be the ending I'm hoping for is, without a doubt, Cassius overthrown. It seems like Patriarch Cassius, okay, he's quite a shady character, and rather than he's drunk on power. Is the best way I can explain it. Okay, and I feel like being like, he basically have corruption all over, but we still haven't found out the evidence against Cassius. Okay, but without doubt, the worst thing that could happen is this all-powerful Ulrich, which is pretty much scary because Ulrich, like, okay, in the last chapter before we end the stream, okay, there's a point where basically we are interrogating somebody, okay, and for 2 days they didn't speak. So Ulrich intervened, okay, and basically what he did is he tortured the guy. Okay, he ripped off his nail, then later cut off his fingers, all of those creepy stuff. Okay, and at the end he says that send him to a lesser death. That is more fitting. Okay, and the thing is, John, who thinks that there's still a process for it. Okay, we are not allowed to judge him. After that, I say, if you want it that way, fine. This is a more kinder way. And then when they had the tribunal, bam, the guy was sent to true death rather than a lesser death. So at that point, it makes John think Ulrich is being more kind in a sense, but probably it's because they believe that the old faith, okay, is the best, and it's quite scary. Oh yeah, I really joined the Latari Society. Like, after this, like, I thought of going for a nobleman run, but I'm highly skeptical of that. Okay, so now with that said, let's continue with the story. It has been several months since John was rescued from the insurgents. Oh yeah, John was also captured, and instead of chasing after the bad guys, we actually helped John. We learned that the mage hunted by the secret chancellery was a rebel, a mage of a clandestine society who took refuge in a local parish. Father Ori took it upon himself to personally interrogate the abbot about the parish. The priest confessed to his crime. He even confirmed that Patriarch Cassius was involved. According to the abbot, he accepted the mage as an acolyte at the parish after the Patriarch vouched for him personally. I wonder who is it? However, you are unaware of the methods Father Ulrich employs to attract his confessions. The abbot's words may be far from true, but you cannot help You cannot help but suspect that Ulrich made the abbot lay all the blame on Cassius for his own mysterious reason. John, on the other hand, is more eager than ever to believe that the patriarch is guilty. He must put Cassius on trial before the new secret conclave. The patriarch stands before the twins, and they will judge our entire flock based on them. If our newly chosen patriarch is a heretic, who knows what blasphemous obscenities he will utter in their presence. The evidence you have is not enough to bring the patriarch to trial. However, Ulrich intends to use your information to destroy Cassius' public image and his support among the clergy. Your sacred mission is looking more and more like dirty political game, and you find this sickening. Despite for a change of scenery, you seek solace in a walk through the familiar alleyways of Anagon. Let me guess, and we suddenly found out, something related to Ulrich. Cassius, sorry. You notice something different. An unusual number of people on the streets of Ensford are armed, not just nobles. Even commoners have defied their lot by carrying small hatchets and clubs tucked in their belts. Father spoke of this at the dinner table last night. The seedy Gandalfs are unable to maintain order on the street. The commoner members of the lesser quorum are calling for common folk to fight for their rights, while the nobles are mired in the ongoing struggle between the Archduke Tarquinius Milandas and Imperial Overseer Gaius Tempest. You feel uneasy. People are beginning to challenge Isacia's vision of the Lords. Too many now reject the divine law that brought order to the Empire by shackling its subject destiny to the Lord. The Empire is changing, and you cannot help but a sense of foreboding as though some dreadful world-shaking event is about to take place. You do not remember how your legs guided you to the silver tree. As always, a profound sense of tranquility descends upon you. You close your eyes and whisper words of gratitude. As you pray, you heard a loud voice in the distance. A monk you have never heard before is preaching. The most sorrowful thing that happened when the twins descended to our world was their death on the opposite shores of the river Eterna. The elder was torn apart by the mob, whether from love, madness, or some purpose we do not know. At the very moment, the younger disappeared as well, gone in a flash of light, and so a brief but terrible time troubles began. The people were lost, unsure of what to do. The twins told them of the peak and the foot of the shining pillar, but before they could tell the people how to reach the peak and meet them in the hereafter, they were gone. 12 years passed between the day the twins died and the day Isacius, beloved disciple of the elder, described the twins as will, love, and law in his first book. And then, 2 years later, Isacius received his second revelation, and thus the second book was written. In this book, the prophet taught us how to live a righteous life and earn a place at the shining peak of the shining pillar in the hereafter. And all the faithful found peace at last. With this understanding, the three lords came to be. You linger a moment to listen to the sermon before moving on. You see a few men in the slums and with no gendarmes, and the world still seems so peaceful here, just like the days of your youth. Men and women pass by on narrow streets, busy with their lives. You hear children's voices in the yard. Two boys are pushing at each other by a fence. They are almost the same height. Both are thin, light brown hair. One of them shouts at each other, "Don't do that, Mom's gonna punish us. She told us to stop." His voice echoes in your head. The world around you ripples and quivers. The color grows more vivid for a moment, then instantly turns pale. Everything is getting brighter and brighter. Uh-oh. There's a light coming from the silver tree. It fills the slum. It hurts to look at it. A brilliant flash blinds you. The light drowns out everything. You see a crowd of people. Their faces are blurred and inscrutable. like faded old paintings. They are listening to a masked silhouette standing before them. You cannot hear his word, but you feel the love emanating from him. It washes over it washes over everyone like a wave of warmth. He is a wise teacher offering guidance to his disciples. A peasant crawls up to the teacher on his hands and knees. He is harnessed by a plow. He reaches out in a desperate plea, and the teacher removes the peasant's harness. He helps him to his feet and hands him a sword. And in this act, there is love. You have felt this sensation once before. You cannot remember when. It is unquestionable, endless, and absolute. The softest touch, like hand wiping the tears from a child's face. The next moment, another silhouette appears beside the first. Your heart skips a beat. Crime is always followed by punishment. Inevitable, merciless retribution. The judge's sentence. That is right. This is how it must be. The judge is here, he craves justice. The law is one, the same for all. Uh-oh, the twins. Give me a second. The teacher is alone, his audience disappear, dissolving in shadows. The judge approaches and the teacher steps towards him. His arms open in embrace. The judge's sword suddenly rises to meet him. The image freezes before you. Both silhouettes disappear in the light of the silver tree. The sentence has been rendered, the lot fulfilled. And then you are surrounded by the slums of Anazot once again. The encircled cross of the twins feels hot against your chest, burning your skin even through your cassock. Your breath is ragged, the blood pounding in your temples. You have just experienced an inexplicable revelation, a vision given to those seeking answers, those such as Prophet Isaías. And thus, this revelation is burning out to you. It must be interpreted correctly. Ooh. Wait. Oh man, this one! Oh. The Latari. Like the Latari, for a brief moment you become one with something greater than yourself. Prolong the revelation? Should I? But give a lot of stats, no. Tolerance of the new faith. Okay, if I'm not wrong, to have Cassius overthrown, you need to have 7 tolerance of the new faith. We're at 5. Because one thing, I don't want to go for Torch of the New Faith, because new believers zealot exact vigilante justice against the enemies of their doctrine. That's a bit too extreme. Let's prolong it. That's what I really want to see. You turn to face the shining pillar. Your revelation is fading like a memory of an old dream. If only you could hold on to it just a little bit longer. There must be a way to see more, to see further than you were previously allowed. You have to try. You get down on your knees and close your eyes. In the past, you partook the heretical ritual with the Latari Society. You can still remember their chanting, the music that took you far away from this world. And it now rings in your head once again. But this time, in your mind, you change the words of the chant. I am the twins, I am the elder, and I am the younger. They are part of me, I am part of them. And the fading vision explodes into a light. Like a bolt from the blue, you are falling from the peak of the shining pillar down to the mortal realm. There is nothing but infinite darkness around you. It feels like you're falling for an eternity. A hand extends from the blinding peak, reaching out to catch you. You cannot discern the feature of your savior, only his silhouette. This soft, open hand, you have known it since you were born. Above your saviors rides a ruthless shadow. It grabs your savior by his shadow, pulling him back. You clutch the outstretched hand at the last moment as you fall. Back in the physical world, your body collapses under immeasurable pain. Your ribcage bends in, blood gushes out of your nose, and muscles spasm and shudder. Each breath a gasp of pain. You scream in desperate agony. It takes incredible willpower just to maintain this connection, to keep holding onto that hand. The younger tries to pull you towards him, out of the elder's arms, but the elder will not let go. Your own will fades away. There is no more time, no more sensation. Everything is replaced by the will of the two brothers. This is how it was before you were born. This is how it shall be when you, after you die for the last time. Their dreams and aspirations, their joys and sorrows, their goals and aims, it all flows through you in an endless stream. Damn, that's creepy. The brothers strive for the same thing. They both wish the people well. To that end, they have chosen different paths. Their will, once united, has been rent in twain. Their struggle will never end. The elder begs for his brother's forgiveness, but he will never find it, not even in the heavens. The law is one and the same for men and gods alike. You slip out their hand. Damn, willpower exhausted. You are lying on the ground, face down. One of your hands is clenched into a fist, and the other is open, caressing the clenched hand. The pain fades away, but the memory remains. You will never be able to tell anyone about this. Ah, come on. Ah, come on, give me a second. Report. Remove. Remove. Okay. Sorry about that. That's me spam. Okay, so I really don't like. Ah, boy. You have hardly found any time for your family matter this year. The event taking place in the city keeps you busy at all hours. Tonight you come home extremely late, but the fireplace in the sitting room is lit. By the fire you see Stephen with a glass of wine. Your elder brother has been watching it, waiting for you. You take your place in the chair by Stephen's side. Your brother keeps turning his glass with long fingers. This one here. He wants to get Gloria married off to a noble. Okay, this one here you need to reject. You need to refuse. If you want to unite the family, you need to refuse them. You need to refuse both Gloria and Stephen for you to unite the family, because you cannot take either side. A moment of respite is when you're gonna get you're gonna +1 for each relationship. If you got unity +10, and after this probably Gloria's one. Oh no, it's not. A server wakes you up in the middle of the night. There is a visitor, a champion of faith with an urgent note. You unfold the scrap of paper. Meet me at the silver tree. It is urgent. John. She would not summon you so late unless it was truly important. Something has happened. Is John in danger? The shining pillar is particularly bright tonight. Its light merging with the glow of the silver tree. John is not by the temple door. She's a bit further away, in the square. She greets you and leads you under one of the tree's enormous roots. It is twisted and bent, forming a peculiar kind of grotto. Skamu, there is something I must tell you. You are the only person I can bare my soul to. Under the silver tree, no one can ever tell a lie. I will be completely honest with you. Please offer me your guidance, or I am to suffer for all eternity in the hereafter. Then, tell me this too. Slowly, you nod in return. The silver tree's tranquility fills you. The woman who stands before you is not an inquisitor right now. At this moment, she is a human, a person with all her weakness, mistakes, and inner conflicts. Of course, you tell her you'll be glad to offer her guidance. Jan sighs heavily. She is terrified, but her resolve is stronger than her fear. What, she's a witch? The twins are law, will, and love. This is what we tell everyone who comes to us for help. This is what we say so many times a day in a prayer. Their law is clear to me, and I can feel their will everywhere. But what do I do about love? How am I supposed to tell their love from the worldly love that no priests are ever allowed to feel? Hell. Romance time? Do you remember when we first met? It was here a lifetime ago. We both belonged to the common lot back then. I took your hand in mine. I wanted to keep you safe at the temple, safe from the corrupting teaching of Fotis. And that's when it began. I can still remember how you blushed. All my life, service to the twins has been my only truth. I have known my path and the sacrifices I had to make ever since I was a little girl. I'll never be a wife or a mother. I'll never live. This is supposed to be live, not life. Live a life of pleasure. I've been given the gift of the truth. I'm one who must bring their word into the world. But you, every day I spend with you is agony. I've gone astray. The light of the twins used to be my beacon, but you're blocking it out. This is wrong. I prayed to the twins again and again to set me free from this emotion. So it is the confession. Not I thought we in the confessing to a priest, but actually there's a confession between a girl to a guy. I tried so hard to purge the thoughts of you from my mind. Tried to see you as a test they have sent me, but I can't. You are my sin, my torture, my love. I cannot hide from this. Show me the way, please. You are the only one who can do this, and no one else. Jan's hazel eyes are full of tears. The branches of the silver tree glow softly above you. She is right. There is no hiding from love. You cannot resist it. Should you even try? This is a place of honesty. And this is love. It fills you both. It asks no questions as it guides you towards one another with great certainty. You take a step closer to Jan. Your heart is beating so hard, it feels as though your ribs are about to break. There, awkward, uncertain, but utterly sincere, a kiss. For one moment, Jan is paralyzed in your arms. Then she responds with passion, with all the love she has professed. This feeling, this emotion, so sincere, so strong. It is a gift from the twins. This touch feels so unfamiliar to you, so frightening to her. Your bodies have never known it before, bound and shackled by years of taboo. But right now, you're both guided by something more than attraction and lust. This is love, profound and absolute, and that which only they may give. With a sense of awe, you remove the veil from her head. Her hair, it has been so long you forgot what color it was. It is blonde. It shines like a halo in the silver tree's glow. Jan moves away from you. Her fingers caress your neck. You cover her palms, wrist, and kisses and undo the buttons and belt on her clothing. The fallen leaves are soft, like the softest bed, as you lay her down. You cross a line you must not cross, but the power of divine love is irresistible. Seriously? I can't choose anything? Like, at least with Sophie I can choose. There are no more secrets between you. You close your eyes. Sight is only a distraction now. You find her lips blindly. You share in her passion, relish in her tenderness, and put her fears to rest. And she responds to you in kind, in perfect unison. All is just as it should be. Warmth spreads through your body, like a roaring fireplace on a rainy autumn day. Like a long conversation with those who hold most dear, you hold most dear. Honesty and awe. You have never felt so alive. This is more than intimacy, so much more. It is stronger than both of you. Time has been shattered, minutes pass, hours, or perhaps just seconds. Together, you seem to have shared a furtive glance at an entire life you never lived. You lie down by her side, out of breath. John nestles closer to you. Her fingers trace the contours of her chest as you stroke her hair. Doing it under the silver tree? Seriously? The silver tree is it's basically the plant that it was planted by the twins, okay, the gods. So it's kind of like amazing they are doing it there. It's sacred after all. When sunrise finds you, it catches you by surprise. John's body is illuminated by the sun. She blushes and turns away. You fumble for your clothes, averting your gaze and trying in vain to hide your physical and spiritual nudity. You do not look each other again until your bodies are clothed again. We can't deny this. We kept pretending it didn't happen. But what do we do now? Tell us. Steadfast in faith. It was a miracle. It was a mistake. Miracle. What happened last night was a miracle. Of all places, you ended up together right here under the divine silver tree. Just like I was saying. The twins would never have allowed you to succumb to this feeling if they had not wielded it so. By the will of the twins, you and John were as one. And through this unity, you saw their love, even as you transgressed their law. You say this as you gaze into John's stubborn eyes. You feel no fear, you hide nothing. You say it all. There is silence. John looks downward, biting her lip. Your eyes are trained on her as you wait for her reply. What will she tell you? What will she decide? Then a smile appears on John's face, so gentle, so sincere. He reaches out to you and your fingers touch. It gives you goosebumps. John draws closer, not as close as last night, but much closer than usual. Her lips touch your cheek. You're right. The twins are more than law alone. Last night, they gave us the gift of love. Yeah, bye. As you leave the silver tree's branches behind, you walk by her side, her hand on your forearm. She is by your side. You feel embarrassed by this, but you also feel something else. Something you have never felt before. You are happy. Let me guess, Ulrich's gonna find out, right? You and John grow closer than ever in spite of all the doubt. Well, at least I got more willpower. Closest with John. Despite all doubts, you and John became close. Okay, the last straw. Oh, this one we haven't read because like we were in the last run. We were building the last straw. Rumors are running wild in Anslot. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the interior of the city, or the city underbelly in its clutches, with men and safe houses all over Anslot, plotting and scheming against the nobles and rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal by the name of Sophia. She has evaded all attempts at capture. Even common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathize with their cause. If the rumors are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help the people who claim their rights. But who would have supported this organization? And how did the insurgents manage to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate L. Vermin must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon, and anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancery will make sure of that. But even facing a manhunt, the Last Straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of this underground organization is spreading throughout the city. The Patriarch's Sermon. But before that, I just want to check. Like 2 more and we can become the prophet. 2 more and we can become the prophet. So it's not that hard because if I'm not wrong, the peace will last until 20. We'll start and we are either at 28 or 29. So we still have time. But I wonder if I can get the eloquence to 20. Like, that's what I'm hoping for because like, these 2 are the most important as a priest. But we do have quite a good number of, diplomacy and manipulation over here. Look at that. Seasoned warrior. Oh well. Thanks to Father Ulrich's efforts, Cassius has lost much of his support among the clergy and the flock. But today, the Patriarch has summoned the people to his evening sermon in a clear bid to regain their trust. With several champions of faith for an escort, you walk to the square by the silver tree to hear the Patriarch speak. I want to install Leonard, Abbot Leonard. I want to put him as the Patriarch because he's a new believer. And he's very, he's, an easy way to say, Father Leonard is, he's fighting for the right of the people. Sophia, your former neighbor. Sophia is winning a struggle against the Empire's order. She's the leader of the secret society named the Last Straw. Like, look at... I'm not gonna say much, but Sophia looks terrible here. I prefer, the last one where she looks more refined, like ladylike. And Octavia, I'm curious about Octavia because she's she's the leader of the Latari Society, which is basically a heretical religion of some sort. But that's like 50 to 60% of the reason why I want to go for nobleman. But I'm not that interested in it. Okay, let's get back. Cassius stands tall above the worshippers, his feet firmly planted on the stairs leading into the temple. The old believers crowd the center of the square, while the new believers, is led by Father Ladred, stand on the outer edge. You arrive at the square as the sermon is about to begin. The preacher calls for silence, and the din of the crowd dies down in an instant. He speaks in a somber voice, clearly chosen for this purpose. As Cassius addresses the crowd, he lifts his arms towards his heavens. As time goes by, the false teaching of Patriarch Fotis are spreading further and further, poisoning our land. Every day, I try to guide people to the true path, save those led astray by heresy of the new faith. And when I saw our brethren from the Order of the Inquisition had paid us a visit, I felt great joy, for for I knew they were here to purge all lies and apostasy from the province of Magra. Okay, what I would like to say is that Cassius here, it's not he the one who called, it is Leonard, because Patriarch Cassius, like, he forgotten his duty to like guide people, and basically he's doing this for power's sake. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the person who basically spared a witch here, because the witch is also a religious person, and she prays and like and then plants started growing. And the thing is funny is because like this area, Magra, is very barren, so only with a touch that the place is growing, like plants are growing. So there's quite a lot of dirt on him, but there's no like solid evidence yet. But then my trust was betrayed. Those who were supposed to guard the true faith deceive us all. Those who have sworn an oath to the twins purge all heresy now abandoned. They were supposed to be my strength, but they have turned against me. They're not for you, you know. Hundreds of eyes turned to you, stern, unblinking. They came here to revile me and besmirch my name. They have clouded the minds of my flock and turned my brethren against me. And now I call upon you, brother Skamu. You must now answer for your order, for I will not tolerate this treatment any longer. Come to me now, approach me and accept my blessing, kneel before me and kiss my hand, so that all may see that you are humble servants of the church. Show everyone the order of the Inquisition stands with the true faith. The crowd parts before you, forming a narrow passage through the temple stairs. The Patriarch extends his hand to you. Kissing it will be public statement, tantamount to acknowledging that the order sides with Cassius and supports him and the old faith. But do you have a reason to challenge the Patriarch? Is this time to openly confront him and his entire flock? Master. We're gonna go for this. Let's check refuse. Oh, he died. The order of the Inquisition does not submit to Patriarch. You make this clear to everyone. Nope. Let's rely. Of course, I'm gonna go for this. Rely on the new believers for support. You call upon Father Leonard to stand with you against Cassius. You turn to Father Leonard, he nods in understanding. The abbot of the temple lifts his staff from his head, above his head. The people around him part so that he may be seen and heard. Patriarch, as far as I'm aware, the Inquisition works to protect the faith of the twins, which is more than the teaching of initiations and the dogmas of the old faith. They serve the elder and the younger, they serve the elder and the younger, Cassius, not you. Father Leonard's word echoes across the square, followed by silence. Leonard, sooner or later you will realize that the teaching of Fotis are nothing more but a lie you desperately wish to believe. But the soul you drag to the foot of the pillar will take you and your followers down with them. You spread your shoulder wide and address people as loudly as you can. The Order of the Inquisition does not need the Patriarch's blessing. The brother and sister of the Order have already been blessed by the twins themselves. The Inquisitors are the judges and executioners of those who would defy the faith and stray from the true path. They need no law but the law of the younger, no love but the love of the elder. So the rumors are true. The Inquisition supports the schism within the faith. Your order has come to the Magra to lay waste to the true faith of this land. Your order is working out to blacken my good name among the clergy and the flock. Your order wishes to put some new believer heretic in my place so that he may poison people's hearts with his false teachings. Cassius, every year more and more people in Magra and the rest of the empire are refusing to obey the merciless law of the old faith. Our teacher, Patriarch Fotis, preached it preached in this very square, and it was in this very square that he was murdered. But even that didn't stop his teaching from spreading and gaining support. Now, I don't know about Patriarch Photis, but he died a true death when he was, assassinated. So, like, did they have a way to kill them? Because, like, as far as I know, other than, like, having a tribunal, like, being judged, the other way is for you to be, hit by gunshot, or easily gunpowder, explosion. I wonder how Patriarch Photis died a true death. One day, the new faith will come to replace the teaching of Prophet Isacius. You too will be replaced by a man chosen by the parish. But the Inquisition will stand guard to keep us safe from the witches, apostates, and the enemies of faith. Brothers Kamu, you should go. You will find nothing but lies and false accusations here. You leave the square accompanied by Father Leonard. No one was in the square would ever forget the gesture or the words you spoke today. I think if we had the downfall of the Inquisition, we're gonna die. So we gotta avoid it going, too much. Okay? But I want the tolerance of the faith to be 7 to 9 because I want to overturn Patriarch Cassius. But we need to find the document. Hunt for Thomas. Wait, this didn't happen? Oh my god, it is because we didn't, since we were in last time when we were in the secret society, we managed to help him from the shadows. Oh boy. You're shaving before you go into town. You scoop some warm water from the basin. A morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes you in with an urgent letter, or rather a crumpled up note. He says it is from a childhood friend of yours. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Gamu, I'm in trouble. You are the only one who can help me. I already told you about how I got on Commander Auden's bad side. I went against his order. Didn't want to squeeze the last penny up from an already poor village. Auden thought me of a traitor, and now he finally found an excuse to take me out. If I don't find a way out of the city, I'll be executed. I did my best to hide, but Auden's henchmen are on my trail. I'm out of time, Brante. If you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess, somehow. If Auden finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar in no time. Your friend, Thomas. You crush the note in your hand, a drop of blood rushed down your cheek. The old friend is a green danger. If you don't interfere, Thomas Guerrero is doomed. Damn it. Of course we're gonna hide Thomas, even though we're gonna die. Remember, we have 4 lives. Well, the first one I died saving Sophia. Hide him, because if he die, he's probably gonna die a true death. You cannot possibly leave your friend in need in a time like this, not even if you have to break the rules of the Inquisition to aid him. You hide Thomas from Auden in a place where no one will find him. The dungeons under Inquisition ward. You set out to find Thomas. You eventually find a place where your friend has taken shelter. An attic above a shabby inn. You have not seen him for a while, but he looks a decade older already. It pains you to see him so downcast. You tell your friend about your plan. Thomas stands tall again. You spy a wicked spark in his eye, a glimmer familiar from the years when you both were young. Well, I'll be. Inquisitor Brante from next door is on my side. Your dungeon don't sound half bad to ask about it. I'll be fine. However, the joy on his face quickly gives way to worry. But you need a reason to lock me up down there, right? They'll surely find you out one way or another. You're getting yourself in a lot of trouble for my sake. Your voice is calm and confident as you reply to the ex-Legion soldier. You can sort it all out, but Thomas has to remember one thing. He was seen preaching in an inn in defiance of his secular lot. Thomas nods readily. When you return to the inn, a squad of champions of faith enters behind you. You ask the squad leader to be quiet and careful. Thomas is shackled and thrown into the dark dungeon. You make sure to visit your friend from time to time, pretending to interrogate him about his illegal sermons. The dungeon keepers show Thomas no mercy, but at least honest men have lost track of him. Sometime later, you decided to act. So Thomas Guerrero receives your verdict. For preaching without the priest lot, he is sentenced to make a pilgrimage to the sacred sites of Magua, which are quite far from Anazon. Thank you, my friend. I accept this punishment with honor, and when I'm done, I'll go to that village, Solmina, and lay low. The locals owe me one. I'm sure I'll find shelter there. Let's just hope On forgets about me one day. Well, until we meet again, Brante. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he met his love in Solmina as well. So hopefully, like, he'll get married. I think he's exiled right now. And so Thomas disappeared outside the city gate. Several days pass, filled with relief after rescuing your friend. You have just returned to your usual duties when Dorian Orton decides to pay the Inquisition a personal visit. He barges in, puffing with rage, a heavy sword in his hand. Inquisitor Brante, I was told a Magran Legion captain by the name of Thomas Guerrero has escaped justice in your dungeon. I demand you release my underling into my care this instant. You go to the Inquisition gate and meet the Archon's fuming demands with a calm response. Indeed, Thomas Guerrero was put into the dungeons for preaching in the defiance of his lot, but he has already been punished and is now a pilgrim on the roads of the province. You regret to inform His Excellency that you cannot aid him in search. You're a liar, Brante. I know I can prove it, but I know you hid him from me. You've got quite the nerve to defy my right to command my men as I see fit. Do you think your castle is going to protect you from me? All you did was show everyone that the Inquisition gave refuge to the very criminal it's supposed to shun. But now, by my right, I'll teach you a lesson of my own. A lesson you'll never forget. You really want to do that? You really want to do that? I'm gonna be the prophet, you know. On's hand moved in the blink of an eye. You have no time to react. Cold steel pierces your heart. Your vision grows dark, and then the world is filled with blinding light. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable. But you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You are bathed in unbearably bright light. It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadow in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself. In this radiance, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your efforts and transgressions, the contradictions that may have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe, like rough grey tatters. But they melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and full. It is as though all the wounds and cracks in your soul have been healed, making it the way it should be. It is as though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see true shapes of things now. These are the laws which the world abides, the grand design that moves itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blind light, giving shape to everything. In this light, you see the infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leaf to the enormity of the empire. And this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded in it during the act of creation. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. The younger gazes at you sternly, wholly. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law about it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shaped the world, making its existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless god, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law will you live by? Cause. Your life work shaped the world, and thus you influence the great law itself. A blade flashes. The younger sword slashes the air above your head. You do not deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way you must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the gleam. The branches are closed now. It is time to descend. Now, this is the first time ever that the younger is the one that is leading. Before this, like, we've only dealt with the elder. You are drawn downwards into darkness. The shadow that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelop you. This is to be expected, but the purity and clarity of the spirit are still within you. Something is forcing your throat open. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, with the contradiction from which this fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with each passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the crypt. You are reborn. Second death. You come back to life naked and trembling in the cool, dark family crypt. It takes time for your thoughts to return to recent events. Your first thought is, what happened to Thomas? You ask around after returning to worldly matters. It appears On gave up the search for his subordinate and disappeared without a trace in the sprawling lands of Magra. The sacrifice was not in vain. Your friend was finally saved. Saved from the deadly threat, Thomas is about to begin his life anew. I wonder if he will come back in the last chapter during the revolt. It would be nice to see that. Well, we died 2 times to save somebody. This one, after the land. I'm curious what happened during this time. A sinner's confession. Dusk falls. After a hot day, the city begins to cool down. The skies grow darker. The pillar begins to shine brighter on the horizon. The people of Anathoth leave their homes to enjoy an evening stroll. This is what you see today from the windows of your aesthetic lodging at the Inquisition Ward. How many years has it been since you returned home? What have you achieved in this time? Every year, Magra descends into even deeper chaos. The schism between the old faith and the new is tearing the church apart. Patriarch Cassius now openly opposes the Inquisition, and you are still not sure that the report against Patriarch was true. You are running out of precious time, but truth is just as elusive as it was the day you came home to Anathoth. If a priest has questions, who can answer them? Who can guide those who offer guidance? And a thin book finds its way to your hands, Profound Revelations, a collection of all known speeches by the elder preserved in writing by Prophet Eustathius. You open the book, and your eyes find the words once spoken by a living God. And the elder said, I and my own brother did stand amidst the world, and together we revealed ourselves to them in the flesh. And we found them all besotted, and yet they all thirsted not. Sorrow did fill our souls, for their hearts were blind, and they did not see that they entered this world as empty vessels. But now they are besotted. Should they reject the wine, they will beg for mercy, but they shall have none. And my brothers shall judge them, and each shall obtain retribution in the full measure of his deeds, while I remain apart in my sorrow. As you meditate over this line, you suddenly hear some sort of commotion on the floor below. How strange! The Inquisition ward is supposed to be empty at this late hour. You hurry down the stairs. There are several champions of faith dragging a chained man down the Inquisition dungeons. It is your younger brother. Nathan has been spending most of his time away from home lately. You're not sure when you saw him last. His clothes are torn and tattered. His unwashed hair is tangled and stubble covers his face. He's brazenly drunk, unable to stand. Even so far away, he reeks of vomit and urine. Inquisitor scum, I didn't think I'd find you here. My man caught this drunk by the temple. People told us he was cursing at the twins and pissing under their statue. We found him on his knees in a puddle of his own filth. He must have been praying for their forgiveness, the fool. Even a child knows that the younger never stays his hand. He's so drunk, we couldn't even get his name out of him. I'll let him sleep it off before the interrogation, if I were you. You thank Captain for this information, but insist on interrogating the man right away. As you wish. The night watchman will be right here. Just give us a shout if you need us. Nathan sprawls on the floor, motionless. You hold a thin slab of silver in your hands and pray to the elder for a cure. The silver melts into the thin air. Your brother winces and squirms as if in pain, but soon grows quiet. His eyelids flutter open, his eyes are filled with animal terror. Scamu? Where am I? You tell him everything Captain Agronym Captain Agronym told you just now. Then, ask Nathan to explain what happened that night. He sits up, squeezing his knee to his chest. His voice is very quiet. It'll be a long story, brother. You won't like it when you hear it, but I don't care. If it's you, I'll be honest. I've rejected the twins several years ago now. Their will and love and law mean nothing to me anymore. Our gods are merciless, their law is brutal, ruthless. Their love is an abuse, their will is tyrannical. What? You cannot help but glance around the interrogation room. Are you sure no one heard your brother's blasphemy? I couldn't live by the lot of my birth like the sages once us do. I turned to the new faith and I tried to find my own path to the twins. But it just showed me I don't hate my path, I hate the gods themselves. I met a man once by the name of Father Mark. He was kind to me. He gave me the answers I needed. He guided me to the path I was looking for, a path away from the twins. Mark teaches that the twins are nothing but absolute will, and we are all going to be dissolved in the hereafter. Everything we are will be gone. Mark says that the mortal world is the only place where we are free to reject the will of the twins and live a life of freedom. Only here we are free to struggle against their merciless law and the love they force on us. Only here in this world, people like me can be themselves. Nathan cuts himself short. His eyes are filled with sorrow and disappointment. This is probably because of our choice when we were young. Mark never told us to pray for or perform rituals. He told us to do everything we could to forget the twins exist. We need to set ourselves free from their will to be who we really are. And I believe him. I rejected the twins, and I found my freedom. I became one of Mark's favorite disciples. You can't even imagine how many important people follow him. Even Patriarch Cassius, he follows Mark's teaching too. You cannot believe your ears. Patriarch Cassius, he's been helping witches and other people of faith, and people like me. He gave us shelter to hide from your order spies. He told us he was happy to help somebody, anybody, be free from the twins so we can live our lives as we see fit. Ah, so this is why. It did say that he didn't guide anybody to the path to the twins. So this is what he was doing. But there's just one problem. Most of us don't know what to do with that freedom. You know, Skamo, I've drunk so much wine, I've eaten all the food no commoner is ever supposed to taste. I made love to so many men and women. I felt all the pleasures I could find, but I never found peace. I was just trying to drown my cacophony of fear and desperation in my soul. He lets out a bitter chuckle and rolls up the sleeve of his shirt. There's a black circle around his forearm. Your brother has known a lesser death. I've been drunk for days, and when that happened, I don't even know what killed me. Can you imagine? But that death woke me up. When I appeared before the twins, I saw just how wrong I was. Mark, he took them away from me. The freedom he gave me was just nothing. An endless waste of life. I'm already doomed to suffer, but I'm still not happy here in my worldly life. Nathan points at his chest. He used to wear a symbol of the twins there. When I started drinking again, I tried to reject it, everything I felt. That's when I went to the statue of the twins, screamed insult, asked them questions. Why can't I just accept them? Why can't they just accept me? But of course, they didn't tell me anything. They never listened. They just speak their words. Then I got down on my knees and begged them for forgiveness, even though I know they never, ever forgive. Nathan looks at you again. Brother Mark's path wasn't mine after all, Scummo. But there are people, some people, who don't have a place in this world of the twins. Please, I'm begging you, have mercy on them. They're already doomed in the hereafter. Please let them live their mortal life in peace. Your eyes are fixed on your younger brother. This is it, the answer you have been waiting for all along. Have the twins finally heard your prayers? And what do they want you to do now? Said Nathan Green. Okay, let me see. Inquisitor power down. But then... How about this? Nathan's admonition. Reputation down, but at least theology going up. Recruited. You are a priest by your lot. You must guide souls to the true path. Your brother must help the Inquisition to arrest Father Mark. Okay, we're gonna go for this. You ask your brother to recall your conversation by the tree in the family garden all those years ago. He asked you about the twins back then. Can Nathan remember what you told him? Yes, I remember. The twins are always testing us, but they don't hate us. They come down to our world to taught us how to live. So their law contains their love. That's right. Without the twins, there is no life, neither in this earthly realm, nor in the hereafter. Those who reject the gods die inside and can only eke out a pathetic excuse. Father Mark and Patriarch Cassius are dooming the very people they are supposed to be fighting to save. They have failed their lot and now are leading their flock to the foot of the pillar. But the twins have blessed Nathan with a revelation that can save people. The twins showed Nathan a path to them. Now, they are giving him a chance to stop Mark and his perverse teachings. The twins want to save Mark's erring apostate and return them to the bosom of the true faith. Nathan thinks deeply for a while, then answers, "Very well, brother. If you promise not to punish these lost souls, but only offer them salvation, I'm willing to aid you." You ponder what to do about your brother. If Nathan stays until dawn, Oleg will surely get his hands on him. You quickly walk upstairs. What is it, Inquisitor? The prisoner has confessed his misdeeds and is ready to be punished for them. Astonishing. I was certain it was impossible to get anything off that drunkard. What is his punishment? You sentence your brother to the usual punishment for drunkenness, 7 days with an iron chain around the neck. He will endure this burden and shame that comes with it. You accompany your brother out of the Inquisition ward by the grey light of the dawn. Nathan walks slowly, the metal ball chained to his neck weighs him down. Soon the pain will make him scream, but the punishment is nothing compared to the crimes he has committed. So about Father Mark, listen. He's planning to gather his supporters at the country mansion of a nobleman named Al Gautier. There are usually several guards at meetings like these, and they are ready to sound the alarm at the drop of a hat. You have definitely noticed a group of men, but a single person won't seem suspicious. The power... Oh my god. The password to the meeting is Alice. I heard it is the name of the woman Mark used to love. Wait. Alice? You've got to be kidding me. Talk to him. I think you both have something to say to each other. You ask Nathan why he decided to share this with you. I have something the twins don't have. And what is that? Mercy. Mark isn't a bad man, you'll see. You help me, maybe you can help him too. You cannot promise that. Father Mark is an apostate and a renegade. I see. The next morning, your brother Shane makes your family the talk of the town. Steven is livid, but the rest of the family just feels sorry for Nathan. Then, as noon approaches, Inquisitor Ulrich sends for you. He wants to see you right away. You meet at a chapel near the Inquisition ward. You are alone in the House of Twins. Surely you were not expected to conceal yesterday's incident from me. I've questioned the witness. Your brother's action called for much severer punishment. You allowed your feelings and family ties to outweigh your duty as a servant of the twins. This is unacceptable. Father Ulrich is right. You're ready to accept any punishment your mentor deems necessary. But first, you have urgent news to deliver of Patriarch Cassius and his apostasy. Ulrich's eyes grow wide. You tell your mentor about Father Mark and his connection to the Patriarch. The Inquisitor nods in approval. Recruited. Betray Father Mark and the disciples. Very good. Your punishment can wait for now. Go find Mark and take him to our dungeons. There's not much time left until the next sacred conclave. If Cassius is indeed a heretic, we must expose him before the elected Patriarch again. Ooh, look at that! One more and we can become the prophet. The Renegade. It's quite late at night. The cold air of the desert burns your skin. You are accompanied by John, Captain Agaranim, and his champions of faith. You are on your way to the El Golgia estate. Father Mark will preach there tonight. Your plan is almost complete. There are only minor details left to discuss. My squad and I will be right nearby. We'll rush to your aid if you need us. Be careful. We don't know what to expect from these renegades. Try to arrest Father Mark, but do not take unnecessary risks. Inquisitor, you are heading into the enemy's lair to act as my weapon. When the time comes, smite the heretics mercilessly with the power of the twin. You promptly don inconspicuous travel attire instead of your usual cassock. There are priests among Father Mark's followers, but it is best not to attract attention. You saddle up and ride towards the estate. The entrance is guarded by armed men. You give them the password and proceed to the courtyard. You see several dozen people in the house. The cavernous main hall is lit by flickering candlelight. You see many commoners and a few noblemen seated around the tables. You spot armed guards by the windows and doors. You take a seat in the corner, far from the large groups of people, and await the beginning of the sermon. A short, stout man steps up onto a little pedestal. He is wearing the brown cassock of the clergyman, but without any symbols of the twins. The audience greets him with cheers. He responds with a charming smile and raises a hand calling for silence. Greetings to you all. I see some new faces among us. You came to this house because you can find no refuge elsewhere. You came because you have questions no one is willing to answer. Why are the laws in this world so cruel? Why is your life, regardless of your estate, full of torment? Why are the ways of this world so unjust? And I answer, you shall know the tree by the fruits. The twin gods created this world with their will. The twin gods bestowed their law upon us. The twin gods filled the world with their love. But their creation is unendurable. There is no mercy in it, no joy, no kindness. If the world the gods created is so cruel, the only conclusion is that we have very cruel gods. A disturbed murmur buzzes through the audience. What the twin do to us with their will, their law, and even their love is a violation. They take our lives away, subjecting our existence to their will. Our happiness and joy is no consequences to them, nor are our desires and hopes. All they require is servitude and unquestioning obedience. After we die, the inevitable awaits us. We will be dissolved in their boundless will, submitted to their absolute law, and drawn in their merciless love. Our will shall be no more. In the hereafter, there is no I, just they. We will cease to exist. So it makes no difference what we face after death, whether the peak of the pillar or the foot. It's all the same. Eternity, dissolution, and oblivion. But despair not, brothers and sisters. As long as we have our worldly life, we do exist. As long as we live, we can still discover ourselves and become what we want to be, not what they want us to be. We must cast aside the twins and live our lives in this world without a second thought for our cruel gods. We are all doomed in the hereafter, hence we are free now. I call upon you to rebel. Without a spiritual rebellion, we will all become slaves to their will for the rest of our lives. We will miss our only chance to live beyond the bounds of their pitiless law. Our law will be no different from the hereafter that awaits us. The listener meet Mark's word with harsh awe, but be aware of the path of deliverance is hard. Freedom is a burden, and it can break the spirit of even the most stalwart and wise. You think of Nathan lying in the dungeon floor. Patriarch Cassius was our brother and followed our teachings. He protected those in need of salvation and freed those who could no longer bear the will of the gods. But Cassius embarked upon the path of rebellion in an attempt to become like unto the god himself. I thought Cassius to forsake divine laws, but what he heard was make your own law. I taught him to save those who suffer from the will of the twins, but he heard subject the world to your own will. See, this is what I was saying. He think himself as God now. Patriarchs, Cassius want to defy the twins and forcibly liberate people of their oppression. His intention is to spread my teaching, turning it into a new prison of the world. I tried to make Cassius see reason, but a man who considers himself equal to the gods is deaf to the words of a mere mortal. I cannot stand against him, and I will not support him. This is the reason I'm leaving Anazot and Magra. Tonight, we meet for the last time. Mark steps down. He is instantly surrounded by people. It's time to decide what to do next. Nope. Let me see. Oh shit. Damn. Damn. Make a deal with Mark. But my power is gonna go down to 0. Damn. Fall of the Inquisition. But I'm gonna die again. Dang, I wanna go for this. It increased my eloquence. But the Inquisition power has gone down so badly. If we fail, if we die a true death, if it reaches 0, then if it reaches 0 and we die, we're gonna like redo the chapter. You patiently wait while everyone receives their admonition. Only when Mark is left alone do you approach the preacher. Good evening, young man. I don't think we've spoken before, though your face does seem somewhat familiar. Could it be that he recognized the features you share with your younger brother? Mark's eyebrows rise slightly, but he is still smiling. Ah, Inquisitor Scummo, you are Nathan's brother. Of course I remember you. My pupil Cassius has a very particular opinion of you. I presume you didn't come alone here, did you? So why I'm not in chains yet? Respond with a direct offer. If Mark does not want to find himself in the Inquisition ward, he will help the Order bring Patriarch Cassius to justice. Mark ponders at your ultimatum. And what do you intend to do to me and my congregation? You reply that you are only interested in Patriarch Cassius at the moment. Father Mark will be allowed to leave Magra and while away his empty life until the younger sends him to the foot of the pillar. Mark sips his wine and nods. Cassius is going to commit a sacrilege at the Sacred Conclave. He will defy the twins personally. The gods usually disregard the voice of a mere mortal, but the voice of a patriarch during a sacrament might be just loud enough to reach the peak of the pillar. Shining Pillar. I will give you the names of the priests who share these ideas. They will tell you more than I can. You will carefully write down the name on Mark's list, then alert the priest to the ambush laid for him outside. Father Mark and his followers leave the house through a secret passage they had prepared. You are tied up and left to wait for help. The Champion of Faith arrived too late to stop Mark's followers from fleeing. Jam finds you in the hall. I told you not to take any unnecessary risks. Where are the heretics? Where is Mark? Did you get any information? You tell her that you managed to overhear the several names of several Cassius henchmen. Now that you know who they are, you will be able to extract the truth about Cassius' deed from them. John nods. Captain, send your man after them. Maybe we can still catch a few of them. Get up, Scummo. We have to question the priest you listed tomorrow. This is our last chance to prove Cassius is a renegade and bring charges against him before the Sacred Conclave. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's bad. Okay, so skip. This one, let's try to unite the family. Okay, unite the family. We've done this the last time. So we can skip. At home. At home. Harmony. Mother recovers. Family at peace. And then we have Gloria Brante. Gloria of House Brante. Now, no more reputation for us. We've gone through this. Family events we can skip. Mark of Dishonor. Branded by Dishonor. A lot of events. Family one we've done. Oh, Thomas's wedding. Okay, this one we've done as well. This one he said that he married a girl with Salmina. Perform the wedding yourself. Good. Your hand comes to rest on Thomas' shoulder. You are a priest yourself, perfectly capable of conducting the wedding ceremony. It will be an honor. Will Thomas agree? Thomas glows with joy. I was afraid to ask, Scummo. Now my best friend's gonna marry me to the love of my life. How about that? I gotta go and get ready. Several days later, you follow your childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the Brass District. He's wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Myra, meet Father Brante, my best friends ever since we were lads. He's gotta marry us before the twins. The bride greets you with humble bow. The three of you step inside the temple. You close the door behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. Thomas and Myra kneel before the altar. This is the first time you perform a wedding ritual, but you know the ritual well. You must summon the twins to oversee the sacred union of this couple. And so you call forth, O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. The candles flame, dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness between the vault of these temple ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Now, you ask the bride and groom in turn to swear their loyalty to this divine union. I do. The bride echoes Thomas. You send over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their name as the twins watches over you. Thomas Guerrero and Myra of Solmana. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts like a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. Thomas and Myra look into each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to one another by the divine law and divine love that fills their heart. And with that, the ritual is complete. Thomas Guerrero and Myra of Salmina are now man and wife in the eyes of the twins. The solemn ceremony has ended. It is time to celebrate a humble but happy feast to be held in the bride's village. As they gaze the night, you and Thomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. The familiar waste of Margrass stretches before you in the darkness. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, remember how... Okay, this one was read. Yeah, we've read this. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Thomas embraces you. Tomorrow, he will leave Anazot forever. Will you ever meet again? Nobody knows. Whew. I'm a prophet now. I'm worried about the Zero Inquisition, you know. Repentance. Last few months have been marked. Okay, this one we've done. Ah, this one Nathan. This one we should call Mother so that he will become hopeful. Hopeful. Eloquence 18. Not bad. Here he is. The denunciation. The Inquisition ward that has become your second home now feels jarringly different. John is sitting on a fruit bench, all hunched over, her face in hands. You stand by her side, still unable to believe that this is really happening. Look, these are our case file. Retribution is inevitable. You'll face the tribunal tomorrow. Without lifting her eyes, she hands you a couple of pages. Witness with my own eyes as the Inquisitor of Brante and Sister Faith in and his sister in faith, John indulged in debauchery beneath the canopy of the silver tree. It is a denunciation. Someone saw you that night under the silver tree. Patriarch Cassius insisted on attending the hearing, and Ulrich will pass judgment. Her eyes are full of angry tears. You reach out to touch her shoulder reassuringly, but John moves away. She breathes deeply and pulls herself together. Answer him honestly, the younger will be watching over us. Lying is out of the question. Should you acknowledge your guilt, or is there a way to escape punishment? Deny everything. You call the accusation false and insist that someone is trying to slander you. There are only a handful of people in the courtroom. They are all priests from various Anthot churches. You stand before Patriarch Cassius and Inquisitor Ulrich. The Inquisitor's gaze is full of disappointment. The Patriarch, on the contrary, has a triumphant smile on his face. The image of the younger gazes at you, sternly from the icon behind them. Let the tribunal begin. This shouldn't take long. Brother Tskamu and Sister John, you stand accused of engaging in depraved carnal liaison with another. Under the silver tree, no less. What sacrilege! The priests exchange whispers. You feel the blood pounding in your temples. It is so, Patriarch. Still, this denunciation might well be an attempt to punish our order and nothing more. A slander concocted by someone who harbors a grudge against the Inquisition. Brother Tskamu, beneath the gaze of the younger, tell us, your brethren and mentors of faith, what really happened. You summon all your fear and anger to announce, as firmly as you can, that you deny all accusations. They are nothing but vile slander. The Inquisition's enemies are trying to besmirch your good name, but you are both innocent. John looks at you in confusion. Cassius notices her bemusement. Sister John, you will now tell us what happened here. There. John stares at you in silence. Sister John? John shudders. I have nothing to add. The room is quiet. Cassius watches you with a probing look. Then he sighs in disappointment, but remains silent. The eyes of the younger pierce you. He seems to know all. To see right through your life, you cannot escape your punishment. Well then, if beneath the gaze of the younger, the Inquisition deny having a carnal liaison, how can we doubt them? John's face is distorted in pain, but she says nothing. Cassius sneers. The tribunal is dismissed. Leave the courtroom hastily. Did you see tears on her face? You are not sure. Like, I don't mind not being with John, but I do want it, you know. A storm on the horizon. Okay, this one we can skip because we've read this. Schism. Family matter. Okay, this one we got a letter from Gaius Campus. This one is useless. Preserve the family. Wait, what? Never mind. Okay, enough. Let's end this. Family matter. Brante family will live on. The family one we've done, so that's why I don't want to go through it again. The heretic. Inquisition power less than 10. You have not seen John for days. Neither of you had the courage to speak to the other since the tribunal. He has often been absent from the Inquisition ward lately, which is alarming given that mere days remains before the sacred conclave. You go to a small chapel early in the morning. Inquisitor Ulrich is waiting for you there to discuss the upcoming trial of Patriarch Cassius. You barely have time to greet each other before you hear the heavy footsteps of our men outside. The doors fling open and John enters the chapel accompanied by champions of the faith. She is holding a scroll bearing the seal of the Grand Inquisitor. Inquisitor Ulrich, in the name of the twin gods, you are hereby accused of aiding and abetting the Willis heresy. Like all Willis, you have corrupted our faith and attempted to liken yourself to the gods. You are to appear before the sacred tribunal at once. Follow me. You step back from the Inquisitor. Ulrich raises an eyebrow in disdain. How dare you command me? I abide by the wills of the twins and none other. I would say that he is drunk on power. Yield, Ulrich. The champion of faith draw their weapons and take a step forward. Ulrich's voice fills the chapel. He does not yell. but the sound knocks everyone off balance. I am will, I am power. I know no obstacles, no restraints. Back away. What the hell? His voice vibrates through your body. You are paralyzed with pain. Your bones crack, your muscles convulse. A red haze blurs your vision. John and the champion of faith fall to the floor. I'm leaving Anathoth. Do not try to find me. What the hell? Ulrich's words echo endlessly in your head. In your last moments of your conscience, you see him dash out of the chapel. After a while, you came to your senses. The champion of faith gingerly help each other. Still dazed. So he's a mage. John approaches you and offers you her hand. I'm sorry for keeping this secret from you. I suspected from the beginning that something was wrong with Ulrich, but I recently found out about the teaching of the Willis, and then it all makes sense. I spent the last few days gathering evidence. The Willis heresy is among the most heinous teaching I have ever heard of. Once a person decides to submit exclusively to the will, forsaking love and the law, he becomes a monster drunk on power. Few teachings are more dangerous than this. Okay. Captain Agronym, tell your man to stand down. There is no point in searching for Ulrich. He has already left Anathoth. We should focus on the Patriarch. This proves that if you're drunk on the youngest. Oh, this is will, not the law. The final step. 8 years have passed until you return to Anathoth. For 8 years you have served as an inquisitor. For 8 years after you struggle, facing trial after trial. The young seminary student is no more. Only the you of today remains. All your actions, all your decisions have led you to this moment. There is no more investigation, no time for more investigation and interrogation. You have done all you could. Today, on the eve of the sacred conclave, will you be able to stop Cassius on his way to Patriarch, or will you have to step aside to bear witness to his victory? Overthrow Cassius. The new faith has become strong in recent years and is now edging out the teaching of its ages. Your name, now a symbol of change to come, is now on the tip of every Magran's tongue. The Patriarch is ought to be elected by his congregation. It is time to give the people this right. You leave the Inquisition ward at dawn. Father Leonard meets you by the door of the temple. Cassius' guilt is undeniable. You have found witnesses to all his crimes. By exposing him, Leonard will be able to unify his congregation and take the sacred title of Patriarch from this heretic. Cassius' downfall. Cassius will deliver a sermon in the square by the Silver Tree at sunset, as it is customary. Let us gather our flock and hasten there, Inquisitor Scamo. The abbot's appeal gathers half the city. Like the tributaries of a turbulent river, the adepts of the new faith flow through the narrow street to join the torrent that is a huge procession. The people, led by the abbot, are here for a common purpose. To depose Cassius. You are part of the power that they represent. It is a dizzying realization. The square is full of old believers. It is so densely packed, there is no more room for those who wish to attend. Standing on the stairs to the temple, Cassius towers above the crowd. His trusted clergymen to either side of him. Brothers and sisters, for 8 years I have borne the burden of the Patriarch of Magra, and every day, those 8 years I have prayed diligently to the gods, begging them for mercy. But I see now that no mercy awaits us, only the wrath of the gods. For the teaching of Otis, like venomous seeds, cultivated by errant priests, have sprouted among commoners and nobles, and now they are poisoning the entire empire with their bitter venom. Cursed be they who are called upon to defend the true faith, but have instead nurtured heresy in their heart. Come, brother Scamo, the time has come to expose this heretic. The congregation stand aside, clearing a path straight to Cassius for you and the abbot. You walk towards the the patriarch, disregarding the angry shouts. Your mission is too urgent. Leonard walks up the white stairs. Holding your medallion high in your raised hand, you stand beside Cassius. In the name of the Inquisition, you command that his deceitful lips be sealed. The patriarch falls silent, astonished by your sudden appearance. Every word you utter is a lie, Cassius. How dare you accuse others of heresy and speak of the gods when you yourself are straight from the faith and befoul your soul with apostasy? The crowd gasps. The patriarch's eyes narrow. Are you in a position to make accusation against me, new believer? Oh no, I am not. But those who stand by your side, averting their gaze before the implacable light of truth, they are. As are those who have poisoned with your maleficent heresy. Here they all are before us. You gesture to the priest by his side. They are speechless for a moment, then fall to their knees. Retribution is inevitable, such is the law. The priests have confessed their crimes to the Inquisition, and it is time for them to confess before the people who they put their trust in them. Let the people behold their fear and shame. You hear grumble, whistles. The crowd is buzzing. The people do not comprehend what is going on. They are frightened and agitated. The priests lower their eyes. Cassius casts a bitter glance over those who have betrayed him, then raises his sad hand with a sigh. Enough. I will not allow my followers to be humiliated. If you need the truth, I'll relate it myself. Leonard taps his staff on the ground. The crowd falls quiet. The abbot's voice resounds over the square, piercing the tense silence. So, Brother Cassius, pray tell us, did you spread discord among the clergy of Magra? Did you lead them astray, encouraging them to reject the gods? Cassius replied loudly and disdainfully. Yes, I did. I put the priests to the test with my word, with one after another. I mourn those who were still strong in their faith in the twin god, for they will never know a better life. I welcomed and instructed those who could hear me. Believe me, brothers and sisters, there were many, and there will be many more. Angry shouts boom from the square. Heretic, we trusted you. Pray tell us, did you harbor sinful witches and give them shelter? Suddenly the patriarch sounds sorrowful. His voice loses the ring it had just had a moment ago, becoming quiet and hoarse. I did, and I'm not ashamed of it. The first lesson Father Mark taught me was that witches cannot live in the world created by the twin. There is no place for them, neither in this world nor in the hereafter. It was my duty to give them a chance to have a life, at least in this world. That's the only reason I'll side with Cassius. The angry roar of the crowd grows louder, the people cries becoming more and more furious. Now, you're burned at the foot of the pillar along with them. Witch lover, was this lunatic really our pastor? Cassius casts a disdainful glance at the audience. In spite of everything, he remains in the fight. Leonard continues. So, you admit to renouncing your faith and your service to the twins, but pray tell your flock, why did you lie to us, maintaining the image of the righteous old believer? Old faith, new faith, they are both paths towards a cruel god. Path that leads nowhere. It's simple, brothers and sisters. I did it to support the schism within the church. Day after day, I pitted you against each other. And even though I stand before the tribunal today, you cannot deny that I have succeeded. A shadow of sadness passes over the abbot's face. But why, Cassius? Why do you choose the path of heresy? What made you hate the god? The scales fell from my eyes, Leonard. I saw that. After we die, we will find ourselves in a prison of your absolute will. Only in this world do we have a chance to oppose them, but instead, we continue living in the same prison of our own volition. Father Mark, my mentor, discovered the truth, but he was too hesitant. We shouldn't just quietly slip away from their gaze. We must defy the god, destroy their idols, burn the books that glorify them, obliterate their names from history and build a new world. Striving to calm the raging crowd, Leonard is almost screaming. There is evidence that you were planning to profane the day of the sacred conclave. What were you going to do, Cassius? Oh, Leonard, you will never understand me. I was going to change the world. I was going to challenge them. The moment they appeared in the temple to greet the new patriarch, they would have heard me. I would have liberated Magra. Then, just in the days of yore, the flame of rebellion against the world would have spread throughout the empire. The patriarch's work can no longer be heard over the roar of the crowd. Anger, incomprehension, sorrow distort the people's faces. Many old believers are weeping. Their trust has been cruelly betrayed. You step forward. The Inquisition demands Patriarch Cassius be burned at the stake until his true death. The Patriarch cackles, his hoarse laughter drowning out the shouts from the square. I regret only one thing, not being able to set this land free of the twins. I regret that the truth was revealed to me remains beyond comprehension of others. I regret that I will not see their temples torn down. I regret that I will never hear the twins defamed by every living person. You have said enough. Stop. You saw it all, you heard it all. There can be no better proof that the next patriarch must be chosen by the parish. The priests of the old faith have lost our trust. They elected a heretic to lead us. The people applaud Leonard. You hear your name and amid their shouts of approval. Under your command, Cassius and his entourage are marched out of the square. You need to get them to the Inquisition ward before the crowd tears them to pieces. When you leave the ward, you see Jan coming toward you. Her face is frozen in fury, her fists clenched. She is accompanied by the champions of faith led by Captain Agronym. Never stand in my way again, Brante. When I look at you, I see neither a brother nor inquisitor. You have brought down one heretic only to elevate another. It is a betrayal of everything we have worked for, everything we were, everything we could have been. I have been indulgent with you all these years, but this is unforgivable. I will not allow Leonard to become patriarch. Go and never return. John walks back to the ward. The soldiers once loyal to you follow her. Is this a victory? Cassius may have been convicted of heresy, but his conviction will not heal the division between the new faith and the old that has been growing for the past 8 years. Will the church be whole once again? True death. Okay. New faith. Okay. It's 11:53.
At last, the day has come which would decide my fate, as well as that of my family, and perhaps the entire empire.
I think I should just finish
the
it.
Day of the revolt.
I think I should just finish it, okay? Like, it won't take long. It should be within an hour. Cassius overthrown. The revolt begins. Cassius' overthrow was a severe blow to the old faith. Disturbances have broken out all over the city. Your patronage of the new faith has transformed it from an oppressed movement into a prominent power, and this power stands poised to eradicate the old church and establish its own rule throughout Magra. The new believers are led by Abbot Leonard. Countless citizens have joined him since Cassius' death. The old faith's time has passed. It must make way for the true teaching. As patriarch, I, Leonard, will lead you to the freedom from the Lords. The entire empire will follow Magra on this path. Okay, this time. Hordes of new believers occupy the temple squares and streets. They are joined by disaffected citizens, conspirators, and heretics of all stripes. In the name of Inquisitor Brante is on the tip of everyone's tongue. Your victory have gained you the support of priests of the new faith and their flock. The real battle for the people's souls is yet to come. The revolt is coming. Leading the revolt. Common folk, cautious support. Side with the revolt. victory condition. I want to go for this. Oh, I did clearly 3. Oh my god, this is gonna be hard. The revolt. I think this is the same as last time. Yeah, this is... Okay, this one we've done. We've read the last time. Stalemate. The Legion is defeated. Peace with the Overseer. I think we can go for this. Peace with the Overseer. Surrender. Nope, we're not gonna go for this. We're gonna try to go for peace with the Overseer, or at the very least, like, the city is defended at the very least. So we need to lead the revolt. But still, like, I don't have enough eloquence. We still don't have enough eloquence. Family falls apart. Okay, this one, just leave. Agree with father and protect your home. Okay, family, I don't think we need to see again because like we've read last time. I just wanted to see because I will lose support from the commoner if I leave them. By their will. Okay, this one here. Okay, we need eloquence, okay? The revolt is part of the design. Personality +1. Oh, I can be the... Nathan Prophet? Nathan Brante Prophet? He should ask the Elder. Oh my god. Nathan the Prophet. Wait. Wait. No. I want to be the prophet, not him. Okay, so we're gonna... Let me reset this. I want to be the prophet. Give me a second. Because I can be the prophet. I have max, okay? I'm the prophet, not him. Sorry, man. Damn it. Brante, they will stay in the city. Next. Yeah, continue quickly. You should ask the Elder. Consequences, you will become the prophet. The revolt is part of their design. The twins give them freedom, and the freedom to includes the ability to alter the great design. You sit next to him, gently tussle your younger brother's hair. He grips your hand with sighs sorrowfully. You share a quiet moment just as you did so often as children, when little Nathan would play quietly next to you while you read. Remember when I was little, and you taught me about the god? I guess I need your help again. You nod, gather your thoughts and speak. What if the revolt is neither a threat to our will, nor an affront to the twins? After all, the twins gave us portion of their will, so whatever mortal choose to do with that will must be part of their grand design. This means there is nothing to fear, no punishment, no end to the world, no wrath of the gods. When the gods gave us free will in their world they created, they made their decision, and this is all we need. All we mortals can do now is try to live the best we can. Whether we are meek or rebellious, happy or sad, twins are silently watching over us all. You look deep into your brother's eyes as you speak, watching faint hopes shine through the fear and sorrow. Without saying a word, Nathan considers your words. As he meditates over the meaning, his mouth stretches slightly into a shy, almost childlike grin. It has been so long since you last saw your brother smile like this. So there's hope after all. There's a little bit of their will in everything we do, everything we think. There's a little bit of them in all of us. I've been trying too hard to get closer to the twin, but they've been right here with me all the whole time. You watch Nathan transform before your very eyes. His back, always hunched, suddenly straightens. His eyes light up, as though he is seeing the world around him for the first time. I've been trying to find the answer for so long, but it's right there in front of me. You go ahead, Skamu. I know you have a lot on your plate right now. I'll be here. Hopeful. Before you walk out the gate, you turn around one last time. Nathan is kneeling under the old tree in the garden. He is praying. One more eloquence. Mustering the forces. The crimson sun rises above the horizon. You make your way through a city in chaos, carefully observing what is happening on the streets. The rebellion is flaring up after a night of calm. Once again, the commoners are taking to the squares in droves. The grim resolves in the rebels' eyes speak volume. They are determined to seize their freedom or die trying. There are others, however, who are huddling inside their homes, locking their doors, and praying to survive the revolt unscathed. With every passing minute, you see more and more people carrying banners. They bear a hand clutching a lantern, the mark of the last straw. Okay, this one we've read. I remember this. The true fight for Anisot will begin in a matter of hours. You have 8 years to curry influence among the people in the city. Decide to put your connection to the test. Who can you sway to your side? Who will be willing to sacrifice their life and fight for your cause? Arm the new believers. Without that, I'm gonna go for this. Wait. Dang it. Arm the new believers. Without a proper army, the revolt does not stand a chance against the Legion. You walk from temple to temple, calling out to people who is willing to arm themselves and defend the new faith. You bear the word of the twin. You spoke with their voice. The flock knows this full well. Next on the list is a temple on the edge of the Brass District, the same temple where you receive your first sacrament. You see an old priest on the steps, addressing the people around him. Could this be the same man who struck you with the sacred lash all those years ago? It is not your lot to fight. That is the purview of the noble lot. Put down your weapons, you fools. Restrain yourself. Stop this before souls are doomed to an eternity at the foot of the pillar. You face the old man with a smile. He is blind. All he can do is frighten people. He cannot see the truth. You respond to him with the words of the elder. Who entereth the house of a strong man cannot take it by force unless he bindeth his hand. Only then can the house be plundered. And that is why Gaia's temple is coming, to bind the hands of the strong. And their houses will be plundered. But temples will not take the people's riches. He will take their twins given freedom. He is coming to take away their right to choose their own lot and their own path to the shining pillar. If the people you see before you wish to be bound, they should flee with their tails behind their legs. But if they wish to free, they must cast away all fears and have the courage to stand their ground. The old priest is silent. The crowd of new believers shout in approval, chanting enthusiastically, "Down with the lots, down with the old faith." All doubts have been cast away. For the first time, the people around you raise their knives, hatchet, and axes, not to toil humbly, but to depose their eternal masters. Under your guidance, they will see this fight to the end. Do you have what it takes to realize their hopes and guide them to victory? It is time to find out. The sound of gunfire fills the city street once again. The lull has passed. Path of the Priest. It is noon. The wind drives the sand along the stone slabs. The Inquisition has gathered inside the yard of the ward, but they are uneasy. The schism within the church has split the order as well. Some of the Inquisition follow the old faith, while others are new believers. Their contentious calling can be heard over the ward's tall fence. We need to stay in the ward and protect ourselves until the Overseer army comes, but we cannot abandon the people at a time like this. It is our duty to stay with the faithful and preach on the streets. We need to show our support to the noble militia. They are the ones protecting the order. The rebels are fighting for the legitimacy of new faith. We are done being persecuted. It is the will of the twins that Leonard become patriarch. We cannot stop him. The ward's door opened. John briskly walks outside. Enough! It was I, brother and sister, who brought the Inquisition back to the power in Alizot, and you all know it. But now, it pains me to see what we have become. I have never thought you to be cruel. I used to believe that each and every Inquisitor know their sacred lot. But you all saw the wrath of the gods looming ever so close, that you all knew that they could do to our world should we besmirch their design. But clearly, I was wrong. The city is full of heretics. The Inquisition has failed. The time for talk is over. There will be no more words, no more prayers, no more mercy. I'm taking control of the order, and it will smite the heathens. Leonard will stop at nothing to becoming the new patriarch, even if it means defying the sacred ceremony. He will stand in the way of his procession. Not a single one of these rebels will reach the silver tree. But Inquisitor, Leonard will have the crowds of people on his side. The champion of faith won't be able to stop them. Then the Inquisitor will have to take up arms as well. The Inquisitors meet her worth with stunned silence. Finally, someone speaks up hesitantly. But what about our lot? We cannot wield weapons in battle. Do you realize what this means for our souls, John? Our lot? It is our lot to guide those who have strayed to save their souls. Even if it means our own souls to be damned to the eternal torment at the foot of the pillar. The fate of our flock depends on what we do at this fateful hour. We must defy our lot and sacrifice ourselves to avert the wrath of the god. Then so be it. Jam points an accusing finger at the Inquisitor who espoused the new faith. Captain Agronym sees the heretics. Champions of faith do as they are told. They force the wayward Inquisitor to their knees. The other priests watch in confusion. We shall begin by purging the heresy of our order. Then we will head to the silver tree. Leonard and his flock must not enter the temple, lest our world be doomed. You walk through the gate. John's confused eye dart towards you. Convince her to spare the Inquisitor. John grown close. Convince her to spare the Inquisitor. Go. You hurry to John's side. She motions for the champion of faith to put the execution on hold. Once she is very close, you speak to her so quietly that only she can hear you. Why would she choose a lot that is not her own? Why would she seek to rule over the Order and punish those who stand in her way? She chose a different path long ago. She needs to follow it. How could she even think of executing her own fellow Inquisitors? Their death will change nothing. The fate of the world will be decided by the gods, not by us, and not in this yard. Why doom your own soul for no reason? You see John's lip begin to tremble. He turns away from everyone else, looking straight at you. You muffle too. Last chance. Just one last chance. For them. And for you. Please. She opens her mouth as though she wants to say something, then bites her lip so hard it turns white. With a loud sigh, she once again assumes an indifferent expression and turns to face the kneeling Inquisitor. To the foot of the pillar with you, heretics, let them go. But stay out of our way, and remember, if you aren't willing to reject your new faith, run away as far as you can. Find a hole in the ground and cower there like venomous snakes. Because when this rebellion is quashed, the Order will find every last heretic in Magra and burn you alive. Wait, let me check. We are at new faith right now. One more and the fall of the old faith. Captain Agronym, ready your troops, we are going. The Inquisitors rise slowly to their feet, afraid to move. Your heart is pounding in your chest. Your fellow new believers surround you. They praise you for courage and faith, and they want you to lead them. We knew you'd come, Inquisitor Brante. We're going to help Father Leonard now. We have to show the people of the Inquisition isn't their enemy. You try your best to gather your thoughts. It is too early for Leonard to head for the Silver Tree. You will be a while before the new faith procession begins. There is still time to find allies. Suddenly, a flustered priest runs through the gate. Dorius on and his noble militia. They're going to the prefecture to execute Sil Airborne for treason. Clarity fills your mind. Prefect Airborne has always stood with the new faith. He will be a powerful ally if he survives. You must hurry. Okay, one more. Okay, let me check the peace with the Overseer. Nobles, more than one. We don't have nobles. But if we have one noble on our side, that'll be more than enough. Then after that, only thing we need is the power, right? Power 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, a bit more. It's doable. The searing sun looms high in the sky above the rebellious city. This one, I remember we read this. Prefecture under siege. Okay. Arden lifts his sword skyward and prepares to order an assault. The riders behind him are about to attack. The Gandals ready their clubs. Their hands are trembling. They will not stand a chance against the noble cavalry. The mobs begin to shift, about to flee the square. The fate of this moment hangs by the thread. Rouse the mob and encourage them to defend the prefect. Arden riders advance on the gendarmes. If you do nothing, the prefecture will fall. You need to act now. You leap into the mob, scramble onto an overturned carriage and call out to the throng. Oh, this one I've read. Okay? We've read this. And then later he's going to be on our side. We chose this the last time. Commoners in power. Okay, if you take a look now, all we need now. Oh, okay. We need to lead the rebellion. We need to lead the rebellion. So in other words, we need to deal with Sophia. An enormous sea of humanity flows through Anazot, filling the streets of the Temple of District. They are led by Abbot Leonard. Okay, this one he will continue, but the last time we did is that the Silver Tree the temple or the silver tree like is also destroyed. But now I think I can become the prophet. Wait. John through death. Nope. Lead the procession to the temple. One of these must be true. Cassius overthrown, forge of the new faith. Leonard will become the patriarch. The clergy will support his candidacy. You step onto the temple stairs and address John and the champions of faith. These people will not turn back now. That cannot happen. The old faith is dead. How blind must one be not see it? John and the warriors of church have no choice but to accept their fate. Those of the common law will never decide the fate of the church, no matter how many of them come here today. No, John is wrong. She only sees those who were told to suffer by their lot, but they are not the ones who came here today. You address the crowd. Those who receive the sacrament of the old faith before joining Leonard, may they set upon these stairs. May the Inquisition see that the new faith is the one true faith. One by one, dozens of people trickle through the mob and answer your call. You know them all, to John. Priests, abbots of migrant temples, monks, acolytes, preachers, men and women, old and young, walk up the stairs, stand behind you. Among them, right by your side, are fellow inquisitors of the order. You have spent the last 8 years guiding them in the matter of faith, and now they have decided. John stares at them, oddly baffled. The champion of faith behind her lower their blades. A stunned silence falls. Leonard turns to face the people. With a faint smile, he stretches an arm forward, and the people begin to move. Halt! Wait! Stop it, you lunatics! But nobody listens to John. She tries to hold people back from by the wrists, tries pushing them back from the steps, all in vain. She finally collapses at the door, exhausted. The people keep walking past her. Those who do not notice John's gaze at her with silent compassion. Thousands of people gather beneath the majestic vault of the sacred temple. They keep coming until there is no space left, and then they crowd the stairs, the square looking inside through the open temple door. The stone faces the twins watch them indifferently from above. Leonard walks up to the altar and kneels. You stand by his side as thousands and thousands watch intently. The gods are here. A profound familiar silence swallows all the sound in the temple of the silver tree, dimming the light of the candles. Everything is still. Your own heartbeat is the only sound you hear. At this moment, you are the one who must ask the twins to grant Leonard permission to become the new patriarch. Your words surge through the heavy air. Let the people be done beneath the watchful eyes of the twins. People of Anzot, do you wish Father Leonard to be our patriarch? Do you wish him to be our voice before the twins and our mentor in this worldly realm? The answer comes in the form of thousands of voices that seem to shake the very walls of the temple. Yes! Father Leonard closes his eyes and solemnly blesses himself with the sign of the twins. Before the faces of the god, by the will of the people, I hereby accept the great burden of Patriarchate of Margra. O Heavenly Lords, givers of life, the younger, the defender of the world, judge and counselor, the elder, the spirit of truth and love, filling all with your presence. Witness now our faith, our new faith, which guides to you all those who have chosen their own lot in life. The heavy air grows incredibly thick and almost solid. The last echo of Leonard's voice dissolved in this clouded tension. There is silence around you. The gods are watching. Silence. Leonard closes his eyes. The feeling passes, the air melts, ready to fill your lungs again. It rings the echo of imperceptibly quiet footsteps. The twin gods have accepted the will of the people. The new patriarch emerges from the sacred temple, to face the elated thousands who wait outside. With you, his greatest supporter, by his side. New Patriarch of Malra. Defeated. Struggle against the new faith and fail. Fall of the old faith. Indisputable leader. A farewell to John. Don't. John stumbles away from the square and heads towards the base of the silver tree. You follow her. You can guess where she is going. You carefully enter the familiar grotto formed by the gigantic root. John is there, on her knees, tears streaming down her cheeks. Screaming. Her hands are on the bark of the tree as she prays. She does not notice you. How can we have her to become a new believer? Yeah. Shit. Okay, can I just redo the last two chapters quickly? Can I just quickly do the last two chapters? I don't want John to die. I wanted to be on the new phase. Can you allow me to do that? Okay. From here, I know where to get, which is when to be honest, in the trial, I thought that if it's 0, then we are gonna die. Give me a second, okay? We're gonna rush through this, but it will at least take 10 minutes. Disagree, John. Homecoming. Talk to Steven. +1. Sacred Conclave. Yeah. Put the Margaret at ease. Like we do know that we can get to 0 with without us dying, so that's a good thing to know. I bet it's not the same for the Secret Society. Share the news. I've gone through this many times, so I know what to do. Rock and hard place. Theology. Appeal to Nathan. Well, it increases our theology. We'll take it. Give me a second, like give me around 10 minutes. We'll get back to where we were just now. I don't want John to die. I want her to be outside. Give the jewels. You know, one thing I don't like about the last chapter is when, like, most of our stats doesn't bother. Like, we may be like a priest, but I do want something else. Like they're going to need to use diplomacy and stuff. Become part of the circle. Latari. Thomas, have dinner. +1. The shadow of the tree. Help Father Leonard. A promise is made. Call of the ancestors. Fight with Father. Okay. By the way, tomorrow I will not be streaming the life and suffering of Sever. Okay, I'm planning to play Persona 5. Support John. Because like, I need to increase the frequency of playing Persona 5. Thus on the weekend it's gonna like probably make me until the end of, probably gonna take me until the end of March or something to finish it. Like having an extra 2 streams per week will basically double up my speed. Printed page. Okay, leave the books alone. +2. Don't worry, this is what we chose last time. The only thing that we shouldn't screw up is that the in the tribunal captive. This one, if I'm not mistaken. Seek aid from your parishioners. Uh-oh. Wait. I think this is it. Because I choose eloquence. Because I need eloquence and I realized how important that is. This one, ask Father for help. Peacetime. 23 years old. Around 5 more minutes. I wonder what happened to Mayor Ekman in this run. Riadella? Okay, theology and manipulation up. I wish there's a button to skip all, like to the next choice. Silver Samosa. Support Leonard. Okay, this one if I'm wrong, actually this sweet Leonard. Because I don't want it to be too bad with John. You can go for the top one, but it's not worth it. Because if I'm not wrong, if by my calculation, I have an extra 1 point for me to waste on John. Appeal to mother. Peace sign. Quickly. Trial of sorcery. Heal John. Revelation. This is where we are at the beginning of the stream. Prolong the revelation. Just as I just now, I choose prolong the revelation. Don't worry, here's where we're gonna slowly regain our willpower. Refuse. Moment of respite, plus 10 willpower. Mother is sick. Oh, this is John. Huh? Wait, what? Oh no, I screwed up. I screwed up. Oh. What did I choose just now? +2. Oh god, I have to go through it again. What did I choose? What did I go differently? Okay. Support John. Okay, I think this one we can disagree. I think it's when the Inquisitor is below 2, and another one is at the beginning. Maybe that's where I should gain some favor with her. Let's be nice to Gloria. Sacred Conclave. There goes 5 minutes of the game. Accuse the Migrants. +1. Researcher of Brante residence. Share the news. God, I've really mastered chapter 4 that I know roughly what questions are gonna come out. Appeal to Nathan. Plus theology. Perempuan. Go. Come on, please. Give the jewel to the prominent nobles. Huh? Ah, God. Buy, sell the jewels. Oh god, I got a bad feeling about this. Become part of the circle. Well, it's not gonna use a lot of my diplomacy. One of the reasons I take the jewel to the noble is that to increase my diplomacy, but it doesn't seem you need to use it unless you are going for a nobleman run. Promise. Defend the teaching of the new faith. Side with father. Relations. Will and the law. Side with John. Continue. Printed page. Leave the books alone. Okay. I think we can go for this. Because at least it won't, hurt John that much. Yeah, I think we should reject. Remember, we need John to at least have 2, okay? Ask father for help. We need to say it was a miracle. I think next year 24 is where we stop in the last stream. Huh? What is the wheel? Wait. Huh? Principle of the will? Disagree? I don't remember doing this. Brothers, that was a very odd test indeed. I think we should gather some more information about our mentor. I'll look into it. Perhaps our brother and sister from Eternal can tell us something about his past. Oh, so this is where she gets the... easy to say, she looked up into his past and learned about the Willis. Come on, this way, Leonard. Oh, come on. Hold up. Support Leonard. We need one more. Tolerance of 8 plus 8. And this is hard. New Sacrament. Augustus Alborn. I want to skip through it, okay? Disgrace. Oh, come on, this is so different. Miracles and Wonders. Proclaim. Quickly. I say it's 10 minutes, but I skip quite a lot because I chose different because I chose different choices here. Shit. Gotta be kidding me now. I didn't have any willpower. Oh my god. Collapse of the Inquisition? Oh boy. Uh-oh. Cass's defeat. Okay. Procession to the Tree. Festival of the Silver Tree. Appeal to Mother. I should not change so much of my choices. Emperor's heirs in danger. The Trail of Sorcery. Heal John. +2. Okay, this part here, it should be the same with the rest. Prolong the Revelation. Go to John. Damn it! I don't have any more willpower. Dang it. But my reputation is already 0. I don't want to waste any more willpower. Refuse Gloria. To unite the family, you need to refuse both of them. Confession. This one we can see it's a miracle. Rome closed. East Tide. Mark of Dishonor. It's already happened. Patriarch Sermon. Rely on the new supporters. Uh-oh. Evening prayer. The Inquisition has lost what little power it had once in the province. Your silver medallion no longer inspires any awe in the people's heart, only disdain and rage. It is a gloomy evening. You stop by a small chapel on the way home. What is your duty now? Is the fate that has befallen your order your fault? Seeking an answer, you offer a prayer to the twins. The door behind you opens. The wind from outside blows the candles out. Half a dozen silhouettes surround you in the darkness. You hear an old woman speaking a scornful voice. Anne Steiner, you are Brother Tkamu, are you not? Now listen closely and repeat what I tell you to the Order's other hounds. Stay away from our patriarch. We will not allow your brethren to slander his good name. Understood? You can finally discern their faces, ragged clothing. They are clearly commoners, but what right do they have to bear arms and ambush you? Arrest them. You are in the Temple of the Twins. They will protect you. This is the place where you have no need of silver to tap with their power. You offer a prayer. A flash of light pierces the darkness. Two men fall to the floor, bound by the might of the twins. The others are instantly blinded by the light. You dash to the side and utter another. The woman comes with you with a knife. The cold blade sinks into your flesh. Blood drips onto the floor of the chapel. You grab her hand, preventing her from striking again. Overcoming your pain, you say another prayer. Frozen in place, the woman falls onto a pew. You hear a hurried footsteps. Two men attempting to escape. You pray to the younger, asking him to unleash his fury upon those who have dared to spill a priest's blood in the temple. The men tumble to the floor. As you pray to the elder to heal you, gendarmes arrive. You call out to them and command them to deliver the attackers to the dungeons of the Inquisition. The tribunal is held the next day. The woman who led the attack is surprisingly composed and confident. Before passing sentence, you ask her what role Patriarch Cassius played in the ambush. Patriarch Cassius did not ask anything of us. He did not need to. We know how the order works. If an Inquisition pays you a visit, a member of your family will be burned at the stake the next day. You are no priests, you are murderers and butchers. Patriarch Cassius is the only one in the whole city who isn't afraid to stand up to you, so you try to slander him. But our congregation will not allow you to tarnish our patriarch's good name. Get out of Magra. The fanatic seems to be sincere in the illusion. The last thing you want to know is what gave this lowborn woman their right to take up arms and violate her lot by attacking a priest in the temple. My relationship with the twins is none of your concern, Inquisitor. Police relieves us from the lots. If the lot does not exist, everything is permitted. Her last words summoned a murmur of indignation from the audience. If this is how the teaching of the new faith are interpreted, the Empire will descend into chaos. Raising your voice, you announce your verdict. Attacking a priest in the Temple of the Twins is tantamount to defying God themselves. There can be only one penance for such crime: true death. After the tribunal, Ulrich asked you to stay behind. Jan, you were right. The new faith in the Magra can become a grave threat to the Empire as a whole. Our order is too small, and it is evident we cannot cope with this challenge. We must garner the support of the authorities. Our right to oversee Gaius Tempus and Archduke Melandas. While the Inquisition is weak, the noble militia, gendarmes, and legion will contain the spread of heresy in Magra. Hunt for Thomas. Of course, we're gonna help. Pause. I remember what I chose just now. Peacetime. This is where mother is sick, right? Sinner's confession. Brother. Guide Nathan to the right path. Well, we don't have any more reputation to begin with. The renegade. Make a deal with Mark. Gather evidence. Deathbed. Here we can unite. And now we have Gloria Brante. Gloria Brante. Gloria Brante. I say it's been 10 minutes. It's probably been like 15 minutes since what happened just now. Thomas's wedding. This one we're gonna be the priest and perform the wedding ceremony ourselves. A bit more, just a bit more. A bit more to go. Repentance. Call mother. Okay, we have harmony, so we're gonna get willpower plus 10. Moment of respite. Takes so long. The denunciation. Okay, this time we should tell the truth. This is where we're gonna get the extra point with John. There are only a handful of people in the courtroom. They are all priests from various Anazot churches. You stand before Patriarch Cassius and Inquisitor Ulrich. The Inquisitor's gaze is full of pain and disappointment. The Patriarch, on the contrary, has a triumphant smile on his face. The image of the younger gazes at you, sternly from the icon behind them. Let the tribunal begin. This shouldn't take long. Okay, this one we've read. It is hard to keep calm. You imagine that they are not here. Ulrich, Cassius, the other priest, not even John is here. You look into the face of the younger and start relating everything to him, the whole truth. As bitter as your shame is, you are indeed guilty, and penance must be done. Yes, you sinned. Yes, you yielded to the feelings that overcame you. You deeply regret the incident, but it was the will of the twins that led you to it, and neither of you nor John could resist it beneath the silver tree. It happened but once, it never happened again, and it could never happen again. The room is silent. Cassius watches you intently, then lowers his gaze, concealing a grin. Inquisitor Ulrich Nostrils glare angrily. What about you, Sister John? What do you have to say? John also speaks only to the image of the younger. She stands tall, very strained, her voice completely devoid of emotion. It happened just as Inquisitor Scamus said. I have nothing to add to his statement. I assume we have to accept our punishment for this misdeed. We have heard enough, Inquisitor Ulrich. What sentence would be sufficient for these sinners? Ulrich remains silent for a moment. In the name of the younger, I assign you to your penance. You will be imprisoned. You will spend 3 months in solitary prayer. Your only companion will be the twins. Patriarch nods approvingly. You leave the courtroom feeling exhausted. The sacred conclave is right around the corner. Do you think the Patriarch Cassius could be the one behind this denunciation? Does it even matter? The younger retribution is inevitable. It makes no difference to who carry out the punishment. Storm on the horizon. Family matter, preserve the family. Okay, we have Maxwell now. The heretic. He fled, but will we see him again, Ulrich? But at the last chapter, he didn't even turn up yet. Uh-oh. Day of Wrath. Freedom so intoxicating, so easily sliding into lawlessness. The desire for freedom infiltrates minds and hearts like a poison, leading people to commit monstrous crime. Freedom is like fire. In untrained hands, it can burn everything down. Down with the patriarch and his watchdog. Death to the old believers. Avenge the blood of our brothers. The militant forces of the new believers have gathered strength. Not that they are strong, they have directed their anger at those who see it as their enemies. Desire for revenge, rage, and the exhilaration of lawlessness fill the hearts of those who, until recently, lived in fear and knew no freedom. Enraged and drunk on power, they barge onto the new temples of the old faith, knowing neither Lord nor law. The believers march through the city and ransack the temples. Blood is shed. On that day, many old believers suffer a lesser or true death in the house of the god. There is no mercy for them. Uh-oh. This is bad. This is bad. Silence of the god. It is a rainy night. Neither the Gandalfs nor the champions of faith are able to stop the militant forces of the new believers. This has been Silver's goal since the day you met him. You wait for Father Leonard by the entrance of the Silver Tree. You hear footsteps. The abbot hurries down a narrow street. He is exhausted, barely standing. His white robes are covered in dirt. His eyes are filled with fear. Brother Scamu, you're here. You came. The abbot enters the empty temple. The sound of the rain and gentle rustling of the silver tree calm you. Leonard is reluctant to speak. You ask the abbot where Sylvan is now and what is he planning. Sylvan found Cassius, Brother Scamu. The old man is mad and will not listen to me. Samosa believes that the twins are guiding him. He is planning to kill the patriarch. Leonard pulls at his hair. Tears run down his face. You have never seen me in such a state. I never wanted this, Scamu. I followed the teaching of Fotis and taught people to find their own path to the twins, listen to their will, to accept their love, to abide their law. And look what it led us. Now they are following this lunatic and shedding the blood of their brothers. They demand to be led by someone with a sword or a lash. They cannot live without it. They don't know how. They don't want to. As if oblivious to your presence, Leonard kneels and crawls toward the statue of the twins, leaving a wet trail on the floor behind him. Frenzied by the abbot beats his head against the marble tiles, appealing to the gods. I know I can never be forgiven. I will face your wrath and punishment, but give me a sign. Teach me, set me on the right path. The only answer to Leonard's words are the patter on the rain and rustling of the leaves. The elder gazes gently, the younger sternly. The gods are silent. Oh my god. Arrest Sylvan. Sylvan must be stopped. You forcefully pull the abbot to his feet. Where are they? The chapel by the north gate. You lead a squad of champions of faith across the city as rain pours down your face. The people of Anazot watch you with fearful looks. Around the corner, you can see the chapel surrounded by new believers. The crowd is led by Sylvan Samosa. The fanatics are armed and holding torches. He is here, brothers and sisters. He cannot escape us. When he sees the squad of champions of faith, Sylvan Samosa only laughs. I told you, the Inquisitor is no ally of ours. They lost the trust of the twins, just as they've lost ours. The twins are on our side. I can hear their voice. Smite those who no longer serve the gods and have come here to defend a heretic. Overcome by a fanatical frenzy, Sylvan's militants attack the squad. They have no fear of death. They believe they are fighting for a just cause. The champion of faith can barely stand their ground against the onslaught of the friendly mob. Yes, brothers and sisters, send them to the twins. May the younger judge them for their sins. The doors of the chapel swing open. Patriarch Cassius takes advantage of the commotion and flees down a side street. Silver Samosa roars with laughter and chases after him. Do not let Cassius escape. Punish the heretical apostate. The militant forces are splitting up. You cannot lose them. You dash after the elder and the patriarch. Hearing your footsteps, Silver turns around. Blow. You feel a sharp pain. The blade of a knife slides deep into your body. It takes everything you have not to lose consciousness, but the righteous indignation boiling within you lends you strength. You push the elder to the ground, strike him again. The old man's face is covered in blood. Another blow. Stop, Skamu, don't kill him. John's voice returns you to reality. You feel weak. Your mouth is filled with blood. Your stomach is burning with pain. Your life is slowly seeping from your body. Dazed, John tries to find the silver slabs with prayers to the elder on your belt, but it is too late. The last thing you see is the figure of Cassius looming over Sylvan. You will die and meet your damn twin soon enough, old man. Another death. You are surrounded by a man's grey void. There is nothing but shadows around you. The specters of your decision, the spawn of your personal will. You see before you all your victories and defeats, all your errors and hopes. Another shadow comes to life by your side. As you gaze at these elusive moving silhouettes, you recognize your last action. This is the death you chose to face, knowing what fate was to befall you. This is the decision you made. The shadows keep spinning and dancing around you, the footprints of every step you have taken ever since the day you were born. A colossal figure looms over them all. Your future death, your future true death. You can no longer deny its eminence. It has always been there, waiting for you. Now, you're only one step away from it, but you will take this step yourself. The familiar gigantic figures of the twin gods appear from the void to meet you. They effortlessly lift your tiny soul and hold it in their hands. You have always been in the twin god's hand. Their will created you. The elder did not grant you his love, he forced it onto you. The younger shaped you according to his law without giving you a choice. An enormous whirlwind arises in the void. The twin gods release you into it, and the torrent of unfathomable will whisks you away. You are merely minuscule particle of this universe inside. The will is the only determinant of all events, past, present, and future. Your puny actions and choices are nothing in the face of the force of this torrent harbors. You whirl in the cosmic vortex of the twin gods until it casts you out. You careen back to your earthly life. It is only now you regain the ability to act. You see all the wills of the universe intertwined in a perpetual struggle against one another. Which one will you follow? History has its own will. You must assume the position that was assigned to you by this will. You fall into an endless web formed by the wills of the mortal world. Now that you're free of the cosmic vortex, you can finally exert your own will and make your choice. It feels like a first gasp of air after being suffocated by an alien will, the will of the gods. But for the chosen will to be reincarnated here in the world, one decision is not enough. You will have to follow this path to its conclusion to turn this will into reality by way of your decision, deeds, and actions. Your eyes snap open and you sit up abruptly. The crypt is spinning around you. The stagnant stench chokes you. You got out. You succeeded in preserving yourself against the whirlwind that was tearing you asunder. The will of the twin gods had commanded you to continue your existence. You feel the urge to fall flat on your back and cackle madly. You are back. You woke up, the air burns in your lungs, your arms and legs feel heavy, as if made of lead. With a considerable effort, you awkwardly rise from the stone slab. John greets you in the crypt. She looks utterly exhausted. You're back, thanks to the twins. The execution is about to begin. Make haste. The sun is rising, and an immense crowd is gathering in front of the temple of the Silver Tree. People flood the adjacent streets. Sylvan Samosa and his supporters are tied to the stakes, waiting to be burned. Despite the impending demise, the old man is smiling. Abbot Leonard stands, hunched over, surrounded by his visibly depleted flock of new believers. He tries not to meet the eyes of the one who are about to die. Patriarch Cassius announced the sentence personally. For crimes against the true faith, the false teaching of brutal bloodshed, Silver Samosa and the other heretics are condemned to be burned at the stake until their true death. Now we finally got a chance to warm up. The twins will embrace us. Eternal bliss awaits us at the peak of the pillar. This is our path and our service. Dozens of fires are lit, one after another. Screams of agony fill the square. The people of Analot watch the execution in silence. I died 3 times. For the last line. Final step. Overthrow Cassius. Finally, we're at the end of the chapter. Cassius' downfall. Oh no. Give me a second. I screwed up. I should not press anything. There's still quite some bugs. Cassius overthrown. I hate myself. For like pressing the for double tapping. Okay, continue.
At last, the day has come which would decide my fate, as well as that of my family, and perhaps the entire empire. The day of the revolt.
Revolt. Okay, let's get back to the point just now. Our stats are pretty terrible compared to the first time we did it. Take a look at our personality. We've read through this. 17. Last time, if I'm not wrong, I was at 18 or 19. Family falls apart. No. This one, you're gonna stay. Willpower +5. Okay, now the brother's gonna talk to us. Nathan. The revolt is part of the design. I wanna like go for this as well, but I would rather go for this. Okay, the revolt is part of the design. Because the choice on top will give him to become the prophet. This time I want to be the prophet because I am the priest slot after all. I'm the new believers. Half of the priests. I wonder why John took off her hood. Convince her to spare the Inquisitors. Okay, after this prefecture, Alborn. Prefecture under siege. Rouse the mob. Okay, he's on our side. March of the New Faith. Okay, this is where we stop. Lead the procession to the temple. He became the patriarch. Okay, this choice here. Convert Jan to the new faith. This is what I've been doing since just now. Theology max. John's will has crumbled. Your duty demands that you guide her to the new path. It is what she deserves. You take a step forward, the leaves rustle. John whirls around like a cornered animal. She has been strong and stalwart for as long as you can remember. Now, you cannot look at her without pity. Her castle is in tatters, her hair is matted. Her face is red and puffy from crying. The silver pendant on the twin lies on the ground beside her, cast away. What do you want from me? You already won. Leave me alone. Your palms raised, you urge John to remain calm. She is in no danger. You just want to tell her something. It will not take long. You pick up the discarded encircled cross and carefully hand it to John. The young woman grimaces in despair when he sees it, but she still accepts the sacred symbol. Well, it's a start. All you can do now is hope that she will listen. You sit on the ground next to her. John wipes her tears, trying her best to regain composure. Why did you come here? Aren't you going to celebrate Leonard's triumph? He won, and it's all thanks to you. You came because you care about John, you tell her. Your disagreement does not change that. If she wants you to leave, you will. John says nothing. She just looks away. The two of you sit there together, sharing a moment of silence. It's so calm here, beneath the silver tree. You doubt even the din of the bottle could disturb this tranquility. Why had the twins punished us, Scummo? The sage's teachings, are they all lies? Have I been wrong this whole time? Are the twins not what I thought they were? You cannot say, but it's something you are certain of. Leonard was named Patriarch, and the will of the twins allowed it to happen. This means that the old faith is not the only path. John looks up at you passively. Perhaps even the twins themselves can change over time, just like people do, but that does not matter right now. What does matter is that the old faith has already given all the answers it has to give, while the new faith has just begun to seek them. Yes, the unknown is terrifying. You do not know what will happen next. But one thing is clear, the will given to Isacius by the twins is gone forever. And if the twins allowed the people to choose a patriarch for themselves, perhaps they will allow us, their children, to seek the meaning of life on our own. Every parent has to let their child live their own lives eventually. John stares at the sacred symbol of the twins. There is a battle raging within her. Only she can decide where her life will take her from this moment onward. You hear a commotion outside the grotto. It is getting louder. You have to go. You rise to your feet. It is time to say goodbye. You hope that when you meet again, you will not be as enemies, but as friends. Thank you, Scummo. I'll find an answer. I promise. You emerge from beneath the tree to the sound of thunderous applause, but there is no time to celebrate the victory. At this very moment, the people of Anazot are flocking to Empire Square. Sophia, the leader of the revolt, is about to address the common folk in front of the chancellery. You need to be there. New believer. After a long and arduous path, John finally converted to the new faith. Uh-oh. the rebel leader. The sun is setting. The blood-red sky quavers in the hot smoke from the fires raging throughout the city. You cannot help but recall a passage from the lives of the twins, one of many pages your mother used to quote when you were a child. And the elder said, "Lo, I have cast a flame into this world, and I shall guard it until it begins to blaze." Give me a second. I think I heard my phone. Could this be referring to today? You led your followers to the Empire Square. You walk around the rubble, past abandoned carriages and unfinished barricades. There have clearly been clashes here recently. The dust of the departed is still rising to the sky. Thousands fill the square before the Chancellery. Well, over half the commoners of Anazot. The Chancellery has been under rebel control since noon. All Imperial officers either fled or were torn apart by the mob. Scraps of rumor gossip reach your ears as you move closer. Did you hear what happened at the Great Tree? It's the Inquisitors. They just started slaughtering folks. They grabbed them swords of theirs and started killing unarmed people. Then the procession made it into the temple. There was a sign from the twins. All lies. The twins got angry and destroyed them all under the tree. The temple's gone. I tell ya, gone for good. No it didn't. No it didn't. The crowd is on edge. Any dispute could explode in a brawl. A voice from the Chancery stairs calls for another people's court. The mob turns as one. Ah, this is the scene. We've read this before. Ah, Father Fuad. Okay, we've read this. I don't want Sophia to lead the revolt. Overthrow Sophia. Destroy the morale. Ah, damn it. We can't let Sophia take over. You challenge Sophia's rule over the people and have her executed. She cannot lead. She cannot lead because she's gonna turn this into a nightmare. You make your way through the crowd and reach the Chancery stairs. Your silhouette seems to blaze in the light of the setting sun. You raise a clenched fist into the air, demanding silence. Your voice booming, you make your proclamation. Sophia is no longer the leader of the revolt. I, Scum Brante, lead you now. The people freeze in astonishment and they hear this. A murmur of discontent spreads throughout the crowded square. Who does this Brante guy think he is? We follow Sophia, not you. The discontent grows, but you refuse to relax. Sophia was leading our city to destruction, slaughter, and death. Had she remained in charge, it would have meant suffering for all of us. You are gathered here not to revel in revenge or destruction. For the first time in history, you have what it takes to lay the foundation of a new world. A world where justice is equal, a same for all, where all states are equal, where we are free of the lots. You will defend the city, you will fend off the legion, you'll persevere and show the Empire that you are a force to be reckoned with. And once they finally realize they have no choice to reckon with you, they will reckon with all the commoners of the Empire. You end your speech, exhausted and hoarse. The murmur fades away. All fear and uncertainty are gone. The thousands of people in the square are no longer suspicious of you. They are hopeful once more. You can see it in their eyes. Then come the first shout. Lead us, Brante, we are right behind you. Suddenly a loud shrill cries resounds behind you, cutting through the cheers. Traitor! Death to the traitor, Brante! The crowd falls silent, all eyes on a figure descending on the Chancery stairs. Twin Sepia slain smolder in the young woman's eye. Brante is lying to you people. If you follow him, you will be slaves until the end of time. Don't you know that our enemy can't be bargained with? First, they'll throw us a bone just to restore order, then they'll get even stronger and tighten the nooses around our necks. We can't reason with them, we have to destroy them. Today is the first day of a new era. We will begin by taking back our city. We will eliminate anyone who dares to stand in our way. We will declare war against the old regime, against the entire empire. No mercy. Upon hearing those words, even the most frantic rebels fall silent. A frightened murmur ripples through the crowd. Is Sophia asking us to take on the entire world? Sophia raises her arms skyward. Her eyes are like two blazing suns. Anyone who turns tail and run is an enemy of the revolt. Our enemy. The crowd remains silent, transfixed by Sophia's glowing gaze. No one will dare to utter a word against her now. This is your last chance to take action before the entire mob turns on you. You take a deep breath and scream at the top of your lung. She's a witch. It's all witchcraft. Sophia is using magic to control your minds. Incredulous murmurs spread throughout the crowd. You shout as loud as you can. Sophia is just as much of a tyrant as she wants you to overthrow. She'll take away your shackles and replace them with magical ones. She doesn't care about the people. She only wants one thing: to watch the world burn. The thousands of eyes around you no longer reflect Sophia's golden glow. Confusion spreads among the people. Who should they listen to? Then the shouts begin. Burn the lying witch. She wants us all dead. Desperate for support, Sophia glances back at her gang. Enough of this. Kill Brante and his lapdogs. The time for words has passed. The last strong soldier reach for their guns, but you're already shouting orders. Your battalions advance on them. The mob is split by the ensuing chaos. Some commoners defend Sophia's cause, but others side with you. More still flee the square as fast as their legs can carry them. The last straw. Ready, aim, fire. The rebel squad dash out of Chancery, firearms in hand. Quick volleys come in quick succession. A hail of bullets hits the square, sparing no one from either side. Commoners try to die along with your soldiers. Dozens of people fall to the ground in the mindless jostling throng, only to be trampled by fleeing horde. Blood runs down the cobblestones. The corpses of those killed dissipate in shimmering mist. The battle is a short one. The firearms hold back your assault, the enemy bullets taking your men one by one. But you outflank Sophia's forces and engage them in a hand-to-hand combat. The surviving insurgents drop their weapons and beg you not to execute them. They are willing to fight on your side and hand their leader over to you. Sophia is quickly bound and hurled to the ground at your feet. The rebel leader glares at you from behind a mass of tangled hair. You remind the wounded soldier that the time is of essence. You must dispose of Sophia for good. The time has come for the People's Court. You command your squad to stand Sophia against the wall of the Chancery and take aim. Sophia scrambles to her feet with difficulty. Her face is hideous. It's a hideous mass of bruises. Too bad it took me so long to figure out what you really are, Brante. Too bad. But this ain't over yet. Before you know it, you'll be burning in the fire I started. You and this whole ugly world. Bitter tears run down Sophia's cheek. For a split second, you see the frightened girl from the next door, cursed by the terrifying horseman. You cut Sophia off and address what remains of the mob. It is time Sophia to stand trial. They will judge her in the name of the people of Anathoth. This woman was plotting to destroy the city and start a bloodbath that would doom us all, commoners and the other estates alike. For the sake of the people, Sophia must be sentenced to true death. People of Anathoth, what say you? Death! A volley of gunshots. Sophia is hurled against the wall. Shaking violently, she collapses to the ground. Her eyes, which had shown a livid yellow glow just moments ago, are extinguished forever. The soldiers slowly lower their firearms. You turn to the silent crowd. The verdict of the People's Court has been carried out. The citizens have saved Anathoth from death and destruction. Tonight, we must save it from the Legion. We will no longer be led by Sophia's blind hatred. We will stand firm. We know what we are fighting for. You see hope return to the face of this concerted people. They were shaken by Sophia's death, but you showed them a new goal. They have to cast aside their fears. Lead us, Brante. Now, this is why I say I want to help Sophia, but her hatred for humanity is too great. Like, I wish that she would put aside and like make the people a better will for the people. Even the old guard of the last rock who have always been loyal to Sophia will follow you. The revolt city has accepted you as its new leader. Meanwhile, the watchman at the gate brings news. The Legion is only a few hours away. The final battle is drawing near. Will the outcome of the revolt be decided in combat, or is there a peaceful solution? It all depends on you taking in the actions you take in the coming hours. Okay. Can I peace with the overseer? I lead it, right? Right? The family is in the city. Half at home. Uh-oh. This is where the madman will come and attack the family. Fight for your home. Subdue the thug. Nope. Huh? Which one is better? Common folk -1. Revolt -1. Eloquence. Wait. Rebel. Kill the leader. Okay, fight for your home. Steven comes out behind you in full battle gear. There is not even a hint of fear or hesitation in his face. Carefully approaching the window, he counts the assailants and smirks. Not too many commoners for a distant swordsman. This is too time for arrogance. Steven, instead of congratulating yourself on a victory not yet won, think about how we can defeat them. You are first to answer Father's question. Yes, there is an entire crowd attacking you, but they are mere commoners who have never held a sword before. Once they see a true swordsman, they will yield. They have a low maniacal false preacher leading them. Without him, they will flee. Steven clenches his fists. Wise words, brother. Father and I are skilled at fighting back to back. No low-born scum will ever get close to us. Father pauses for a moment in contemplation. I have made many mistakes in my life, but I have raised brave sons. You fling the door wide open, ready to meet your assailants face to face. Take him alive. That one there is Judge Brante. Let's give him a little taste of a judgment right now. The enraged looters attack you. Father takes them down with a few swift lunges, but new thugs immediately take their place. You cannot hold them back for long. Your father and brother are only your only hope now. Covering each other's backs, they skillfully fend off the assailants. The enemy outnumbers them, but their training gives them decisive edge. There are only 3 of them. What are you afraid, you cowards? The preacher elbows his way to the front, a huge torrent of followers in his wake. Spying the leader, you shout now. This is your chance, like a deadly hurricane, to tear through the enemies to reach the old madman. He raises his axe aloft, aiming for Father's head, but Steven's sword is quicker. He knocks the weapon from the elderly thug's hands. A split second later, he runs his sword straight through the man's throat with perfect precision. Your elder brother's voice booms above the battle. Run, you bastards, leave our home and never come back. The mob hesitates. One by one, the looters drop their weapons and flee. You have won. Breathing heavily, you exchange tired glances with your father and brother. You have defended your ancestral home. With a sigh of relief, Father lowers his weapon. Only now do you notice how violently his hands are shaking. Dang the twins, I was afraid I'll lose you both. Me? Die at the hands of those pathetic wretches? Not likely, father. That's not the way you raise us. Well, Scummo, I suppose it's a good thing I taught you how to put up an upstart rebel in their place back when you were a boy. They cannot stay any longer. The preparation for the decisive battle are not finished. I understand, son. Take care. I hope to see you again soon. And I hope you know what you're up against, Scummo. Regardless, good luck, brother. You leave a small squad behind in case of another attack. You say your goodbyes and take off to face your fate. It is almost midnight. Uh-oh. This is bad. We don't have enough common folk. Final hour. Dang. We need common folk. It is mere moments from midnight. The glow of the shining pillar is barely visible from the crimson clouds coming in from the north, but the darkness hanging from above the city is dissipated by countless lights. Crowds of people holding torches, stakes burning in the square, houses in flames. The glow of the fire can also be seen beyond the city wall. Okay, this might be red. Okay. Ask Leonard for help. Because we need common folk. In order to crush the legions, you will need to have win over more commoners and clergymen. At this point, the word of the twin is the only thing that is capable of influencing those with lingering doubt. You take a small squad and immediately set out to the temple of the silver tree. The square in front of the temple is packed with people. It has become filled with tents and crude barracks in a matter of hours. Patriarch Leonard and his flock are helping the wounded, sharing food and shelter with the commoners. The newly elected patriarch is so exhausted he can barely stand, but he still finds enough strength to offer you a friendly greeting. Brother Scummo, I'm so glad to see you escape the carnage. How may I be of help? You get right to the point. Although Leonard was elected patriarch in the sight of the twin themselves, there are still many old believers among the people of Anazot. This is his last chance to win them over. He must not squander it. You're quite right, brother. I must speak to them. Let your people bring those who hesitate hither beneath the silver tree. I will promise my God's guardianship and the protection of the twins themselves to all who come to the temple accept the new faith. You order your people to spread the word of the patriarch's promise. A communion ceremony will be held by the silver tree tonight. Despite all the disturbances, fighting in the street, many commoners and priests still gather for the sermon. The shining pillar glimmers above the square. The leaves of the silver tree suddenly rustle so loud, they drown out the drumbeat of the oncoming legion. Leonard addresses the crowd gathered before him. Even on a night as troubled as this, his resonant voice instills hope in those who hear it. My brothers and sisters in faith, I, the first patriarch of Magra, chosen by the people, have glad tidings for you. The lords are no more. You are all free to choose your own path in this worldly life. An excited murmur ripples through the crowd. But what if you're wrong, Leonard? What if you disobey the will of the twins and get sent to the foot of the pillar to endure eternal torment? I understand your fears, but they are nothing before the great will of the twins, and today their will has acknowledged the new faith. Upon hearing this, an awe hush falls over the crowd. Both commoners and clergymen kneel obediently to accept the new faith. No, my brethren, stand. You have knelt long enough. Neither the sword nor the lash will ever touch you again. Only the word of the twins will guide you to their peak of the pillar. And to hear their words, stall as equals, accept their blessing. Dumbfounded, not quite believing their ears, the people rise to their feet. I, Leonard, Patriarch of Magra, by the will of the people and the twins, hereby accept you into the bosom of our new church. From this day forth, your only lot is to choose for yourself. Your destiny is your own. Fight for it, and you shall be victorious. The temple square shakes with shouts of joy. Even the silver tree itself seems to echo those cries, its root and branches quivering. Midnight strikes. You can hear the menacing tread of the legion outside the city walls. The time has come. You order your troops to assemble and prepare to defend the wall. Battle for Anazot. Okay, this one is that the Imperial Army and Gaia's Tempest will come. Achieve peace. Musket in hand, the soldiers on the walls freeze in anticipation, awaiting your decision. For the last time, to consider the consequences. The fate of Anazot depends on your reply. Okay. You proclaim that the Overseer is no longer has any subject in the city. Okay, this one we've done. I think this one we've read. I think this one we've read. We've read this. You are made to wait. The Legion soldiers form a circle around you, unsure of what to do with you. Finally, the Imperial ruler himself comes to meet you clad in an ancient Arcane armor. Despite his army's defeat, Gaia's Tempest remains composed and dignified. So be it. I shall hear you out. But do not expect me to make concessions to the insurgents and enemies of the Empire. You step forward and introduce yourself. You remark that you are here not just the leader of the revolt, you are the voice of Anazot herself. The people behind you are proof of that. Gaia's Tempest casts a wary gaze at your envoys, recognizing many of them. I do not dispute that you have fomented rebellion throughout the city, Brante, but by doing so, you also have doomed it. You have assured Anazot's destruction. I was not your enemy until you forced me to send my army against you. One step at a time, I would have changed this province. I would have made your lives better. So this one is the same. This one is the same. They tell him the days of the old order. You tell him the day of the old order and the eternal inequity that the estates are coming to an end. The ancient empire can either change or die in agony. If the Overseer is indeed devoted to his duty, he can join you and lay the foundation of this new era. Is this not what is best for the Empire and the House of Tempest? The Arcane nobleman hesitates. Your words have clearly resonated with him. What do you suggest I do, Brante? Become a rebel myself? You assure him this is not all that you're proposing. Instead, the Overseer could simply withdraw his troops and grant freedom to Anazot and all of its citizens. They'll be free from their masters, free to worship as they please, and free to choose their own lords. This is what the people of Anazot demand, all of them, regardless of their estate. This conflict will be resolved peacefully. You will not allow any violence against the nobility or the old faith clergy. In the new Anazot, there will be a place for anyone who wishes to be free. The Overseer looks in you in the eye, studying you intently. Others will follow you. I'm risking more than just my position. I'm risking all of Magra. Yes, there is a risk. But it is a risk that someone must take. Someone has to try to reform the Empire before it slowly turns asunder by internecine feuds, social unrest, and anarchy. Gaia's Tempest looks sorrowfully in the distance where the first ray of breaking dawn are glimmering on the horizon. Much as it pains me to say this, Brante, you're right. Even if I am in error, history will be my judge, as well as yours. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare Anazot a free city. From this day forth, her citizens will rule over her as they see fit. May they answer the twins for their actions. Legion, the battle is over. Marching formation. Gaia's Tempest casts one final glance at the walls of Anazot and leaps into his saddle. The Legion gets into formation and march away from the city. You and your envoy return to the gate as the city bathed in the dawn of the new day. The supporters shouted loudly, "We won! The Overseer recognized our freedom. Long live Brante! All glory to the revolt." You lean against the wall and take a deep breath. Is it over? No. A new era is beginning today. You look back at the years gone by, all the difficult decisions you had to make, all the actions that helped you take your place in history. You, Brante, have led the revolt to victory in Anisot. Your destiny has been fulfilled. Leading the revolt. Peace.
The revolt succeeded, and the city rejoiced in triumph. I was the one to bring the people their victory.
New day dawns. The Elder. It is morning. You stumble along a now empty back street, utterly exhausted after the most trying night of your life. An elderly stranger in a threadbare cloak shambles down the road in the opposite direction. The old man looks cautiously at every step, seemingly struggles to remember where he's going. So this one here is the same. It's like he's saying that he's arguing with the younger brother. Can I be the prophet? Oh, come on. If I'm not wrong, say you were free waters from the Lord. This is what I answered last time. Yeah, this is what I said. This is what I told him, and then later what he did is that he's gonna burn he's gonna take away the lash and the sword. In other words, there will be no more lots. Outcome of the revolt. Okay, this one we've read. Wait, no. The peace treaty you negotiate with the Overseer marked an important turning point, the beginning of a sudden change throughout the Empire. Anisot had become a free city in which all the states had equal rights. Though still the Emperor subject, its citizens were free to govern the city on their own. The rebels celebrated this momentous occasion, the day they earned unimaginable freedom, backed by Gaius Tempus, who represented the imperial rule. The city hastily elected a council of Anisot to govern it, each member chosen from the loyal supporters of the new order and elected by the people. The council's very first decree made all the states equal under the city's laws, proclaimed freedom from the lots, and named the new faith the official church of Anisot. The noble gentry and the old clergy began to flee the city and the province, terrified and enraged by the events that had transpired. They quickly spread word throughout the empire of the causes of the exodus and demanded that the emperor hold Gaius Tempus responsible for aiding and abetting the rebellion. Gaius Tempus was summoned to the capital at once. His many enemies at court demanded that every single one of Anisot's freedoms be revoked. Only his status as the emperor's brother made him safe from dreadful scandal. The power struggle in the capital took quite some time. As it drew out, the news of the revolt reached even the most remote provinces. More and more towns and villages learned of the lesson of Anisot. Their citizens began to arm themselves and join the revolt. The imperial army began a frantic campaign to douse the flames of unrest, but it was all in vain. The legion suffered defeat after defeat. Okay, this is the same as the last time. Wait. Prince Jerian, the heir to the throne, eagerly sided with Gaius Tempus. After a long period of uneasy deliberation, Uther II and the other Tempus announced their decision to comply with the rebels' demands. The commoners celebrated the day and hailed the emperor while the Gaius Tempus and his allies drafted laws that would change the face of the nation. But the old rulers were loath to see their power slip between their fingers. The enemy of change are gathering beneath their banners. They are a massive, powerful army on the edge of the capital province, determined to restore the old ways by force. Two banners now fly above the empire. One, that of the Imperial Legions, and the armed commoners, stand for the tempest and the change to come. The other, that of the old noble militias and the dynasty of old, stands for a return to the old order. Empire has been split in half. War is coming. Regardless of the outcome, the world will never be the same again. The common... I think this one here we've read. Okay, the church. The new faith has prevailed at last. Now everyone in Magra knows that the old faith is a perpetual lie perpetuated by the church authorities to doom people to suffer in life and after death. The teaching of its teachers must be eradicated forever. New faith fanatics hunt down and judge the priests who still have the gall to preach the old faith. Everyone must undergo a new sacrament and break free of their past lot or face death with a flame. The change that swept across Magra brought down the age-old barriers that held the common people back, paving the way for trade and industry. The new feuders have made Magra one of the most prosperous lands of the empire, new factories, mills, and trade routes appearing one after another. The city of Anazot soon became a vital trade hub, the only place to procure the best and newest commodity, tools, and factory equipment. The wealth of its citizens is unrivaled throughout the empire. After many long years of disorder and strife, the land of Magra finally found order and peace. The people grew weary of violence and turmoil of any kind. They came to respect the law and no longer fear to leave their homes. The chaos and hostility that once reigned are gone. The people of Anazot and Magra enjoyed a long-awaited age of reconciliation. The Anazot revolt was followed by more omens that shook the empire. They are gone. Like, people are free to choose their lots. Okay, Auden is still the same. Once new order was restored in Anazot, the new faith declared Ulrich an enemy of the church. Despite his power and guile, the rogue inquisitor could not escape his well-deserved punishment. With your help, the heretic was tracked down, arrested, and executed. The Willis heresy has been stamped out forever. Next. Okay, he... Basically... This one is a tale of Augustine L. Born. Father Leonard. For the first time in centuries, the people elected their patriarch and the twins accepted him. Patriarch Leonard became a symbol of the new faith, triumph over the old. The wise old priest dedicated the rest of his life to strengthening the alliance between various new faith patriarchs throughout the empire. Through his guidance, thousands found their own path with the twins. Leonard is remembered as the greatest and the most eminent clergyman of his day. By the time revolt had set Anazot ablaze, Thomas Guerrero was already living a new life with a new family far from the city. But when he heard the news of the revolt victories, Thomas hurried back to his home city with his family. Inspired by your triumph, he was eager to help lay the foundation of the new order. When your old friend arrived at the free city of Anazot, you were there to greet him with open arms. In time, Thomas rose through the ranks to become a captain of the city guard. Two of you remain friends for the rest of your life. John? After the Anazot revolt, John rejected the old faith. When the people elected Leonard as their new patriarch, she witnessed it firsthand. She spent a long time reflecting on these events and eventually came to see them as a sign that she had been wrong. For the rest of your life, John remained by your side, loyally supporting you in everything you did. Under her continued guidance, the Magra Inquisition no longer persecuted new believers, focusing only on dangerous heresy. Some remember John as a traitor to the old faith. Others, however, see her as a quintessential example of a clergywoman who came to terms with the truth and courageously accepted the light of the new faith. Are we gonna get married to her? Okay, she died. Brante family, this one, nothing changed. Robert Brante, it's the same. Family members are all the same. Maybe Nathan is different. They say that I could become a prophet, but I didn't. Should have just let him become the prophet. 3 long lot, Nathan became a priest and dedicated his life to serving the twins. He left his aimless path behind and finally found a purpose. The suffering he endured in spiritual quest became a source of wisdom. Nathan's renown as a new faith preacher quickly grew, and he gained hundreds of tormented souls to find their way to the twins. Okay, he hated us. You were elected by the people of the Chancellor of Anzot, along with the other leaders of the revolt. It was a heavy burden to bear, but it was necessary in order to overcome the city challenges on the path of building a new society. So you devoted the rest of your life to preserving the freedoms you had won and building a new and just order in Anzot. The people of the Empire came to see you as the greatest champion of the new faith. Through you, the teaching of Fodis finally assumed a dominant role in the Empire. A new special order of believers was formed at your behest to carry out the true doctrine to other cities, towns, and villages throughout the Empire. You are remembered as the liberator of Anzot and apostle of the new faith, equal to Patriarch Fodis himself. So ends the life and suffering of Scamu Brante. Finally. Oh, true death. The hour of your death has come. Your soul has left your body, never to return. You are taken to the peak of the shining pillar. Every moment separates you more and more from the mortal realm. The link that once bound you to it is gone forever. You look up to these two divine messages, watching you intently. The elder gazes upon you, full of sorrow and compassion. The younger examines you dispassionately, seeing your every act and thought. Ascended from the mortal realm, from here, you are but one step from partaking in eternal bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. But first, you must be judged by them, just as every other soul born in this world has been judged since time immemorial. Only their judgment can decide whether you deserve to remain at the top of the peak or hurled down to the foot. You stand before the twins. Your very essence is laid bare before them. All the secrets of your inner self is revealed in full. Your soul is like an open book to them, one that preserves the story of your entire life. You lie prostrate before the god. The time has come to take responsibility for your mortal life. And the elder twin asks, are you thankful to the gods for the life you live? You are thankful. They hear your answer. Compassion and remorse fill the immeasurable deep eyes of the elder twin. He turned to his divine brother, who returned his gaze with an expression of stern remorse. Serve it. To help the others. The elder twin bowed his head wearily, considering your response, but the stern visage of the younger already looms above you. A cause. Other people. The younger's gaze lingers at your bare defenseless soul. The divine figure continues its stern interrogation. What did you leave behind? A legacy? Or more like a chain. You blaze a trail of change that will outlive you. The younger twins now move toward you in clear intent, poised to render his judgment, but the elder twin restrained his brother with a gesture. A divine voice fills you once again. Did you make the world we made a better and more perfect? Became better. The younger is silent, his eyes two swords piercing your soul. The elder twin speaks to you again, but you already know the question. The same question that caused you so much suffering shortly before your true and final death. No one. The twin god exchanges a glance that lasts a brief moment and all eternity. The hand of the elder reaches out to you, glowing in light and warmth. The gods offer you a presented opportunity to change your destiny, to rewrite the book of your life. Take a different path in life? No. You reject the hand of the elder. The immense divine silhouettes withdraw in sorrow. The younger twin steps forward, leaving you to his lot alone. The twin's judgment is nearing its end. The soul of a man named Brante lies prostrate at your feet. You have witnessed his entire life, known his every act, seen his every thought and desire. No other soul could ever walk the same path. So many difficult choices, so many emotions, so much pain. Another soul awaits your judgment. You know no mercy, nor does your brother. Every mortal must walk the path chosen for him to the very end. Those who abide the precepts set forth by you and your brother shall return to you and become part of you. Those who reject you shall know eternal suffering of oblivion. Where does the man's scum Brante belong? Speak. You gingerly grasp at this fragile soul and lift it up and turn it to face your elder brother. You lift your sword. Your brother stands with arms akimbo, ready for the blow. The blade slashes through his chest. Blinding light gushes from the gash. You bring the minuscule soul to your brother's chest, and it dissolves in the streams of shimmering luminescence. A tiny fragment of your shared creation has rejoined the pool. The man named Brante is no more. There is only eternal fount in which he now abides. Quite a lot of things. It's taking forever. Damn, it's long. And life. Damn. But I do I like the life and suffering of Sir Brante, but I do wish there's more gameplay. Of course there's a lot of, the point of this is text, but I do wish that there were going to be more gameplay elements, maybe I don't know, dice casting, but then I'm gonna get annoyed with that. Some sort of a game that can let us gameplay element that make it more fun. Wait, who's this? Who's this? I've never seen this. Okay, this is the symbol. The cross. This is the preacher, right? The monk. Is this Gloria? But we've never seen her like this. This one I think I saw it, but just a minor. This is probably the Legionnaire. Well, this one's the church, the Old Faith. Man, that's a long list. Well, I think I'll stop playing, Life and Suffering on Sever. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but I just couldn't bring myself to play anymore. Like, it tires me. So tomorrow I'm gonna play a new game, which most probably I'm looking for is like my life as a teenage exocologist, maybe. It's been a while since I wanted to play it, and it finally went on sale the other day, so I bought it, and I'm gonna play it because it's more or less like this, but more cartoonish, if I were to say. So yeah, we're gonna play that starting to. Oh wait, not tomorrow. On Wednesday, because tomorrow I'm planning to play Persona 5. Like, I'm gonna need to increase the frequency of my Persona 5, because I don't want to like drag it on too long. Okay, like, and also I want to play it. So with that said, I'll end the stream here, and tomorrow we'll play Persona 5, and then Wednesday we're gonna play My Life as a Teenage Exocolonist, and Thursday we're gonna continue. I'm planning to play Persona 4 on Tuesday and Thursday, and the other day I'll play My Life as a Teenage Exocolonist. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan. So I'll end the stream here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.